Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. And I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First, a reminder. All of the content we produce is available on our website at finalshowfilms.com, as well as youtube.com/Senstaku, senstaku.podbean.com, twitch.tv/Senstaku, and on iTunes. We are only able to do the things we do thanks to the kind support of our Patreon donors. We give a special shout out to our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic and Waterflame. If you'd like to support us that way, be sure to check it out. Secondly, a thank you to the folks over at 411mania.com. They produce articles and content related to wrestling, MMA, movies, music, and gaming. Go check them out. We appreciate their support as well. And lastly, be sure to subscribe, comment, and rate, if possible, wherever you listen to or watch our content. It helps us know what you like, what you don't like, and helps us make more content. Feedback is always appreciated. With all that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Are we actually on camera?
We are on camera.
Are we on audio?
We are on audio.
Are the cameras angled correctly?
Yes. I fixed that before I went to the cam.
All right.
Believe it or not, I sometimes know what I'm doing.
Yay! I've trained him finally.
What I didn't account for was the fact that my green screen is not covering.
You had 15 jobs.
There. Now they'll know. Okay, fine. They'll know.
You had precisely 127 jobs.
Fine. Hey guys, welcome back to Worldfire, episode 10. We're in the latter half, and it is 10.
Yes, this episode did.
No.
Oh, I'm off. Okay.
And we are down a couple people today, but that's okay because they had a little bit of a tangent to go on to do stuff. So, without further ado, the people we do have on my far right.
I'm Rudy. I'm playing Deep Gnome Rogue Castellan.
On my immediate left.
Is that me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I pointed at you.
Sorry. I'm Holly. I'm playing Taro. She is a human bard shifter.
On my immediate right.
I'm John, and I'm playing Galadir Alunai, the High Elven Wizard. And I look like a wizard today.
Your hat's not pointing.
Not all wizards wear pointy hats, Austin. Hashtag not all wizards.
Racist?
Come on.
Wizards?
I mean, according to Harry Potter, wizards are.
Also, according to Divinity Original Sin 2, because there's a god of humans and a god of wizards.
According to Magic Candle as well, because wizards are a race in Magic Candle.
Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings. But in Lord of the Rings, all wizards literally do wear pointy hats.
Not all of them. Gandalf the White didn't wear a pointy hat.
That is Saruman.
That's Saruman.
I'm talking about books.
I don't think they ever described his hat after he came back to life.
Fair point. And after the wizard tangent, on my far left.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Climeless Faust, Dragonborn Warlock.
And without further ado, you guys were milling about town, and you'd met up.
I'm not texting, I swear. I'm logging into my character sheet.
He's totally texting.
Yeah.
He's yes. So you met up at a tavern, and you heard that this Stitcher woman would be at
Tweet out that we're live.
this legendary shipwreck. No, who's an amateur?
I know, right?
Would be at this legendary shipwreck just south of town. So, what do you people plan on doing with this information?
Well, I guess we should go south of town and see the legendary shipwreck like it's a Saturday night, right? I just like the idea of a legendary shipwreck just south of town.
I mean, it would take you the better part of a day to walk there. It is several miles.
Is it a legendary ship, or was the wreck legendary?
Yes.
Okay.
It wrecked so hard. People are still talking about
it. If you want to roll me a history check, you and the gnome might know about this legendary shipwreck.
As soon as I know it, I think my history is like
I would know
or
nothing,
something.
because I'm from a whole different continent, a whole different region of that different continent.
You can roll history checks, but you have disadvantage and your DC is jank high.
Well, let's find out.
It's either 25 or 26, I'll let you know.
Not bad. Okay, I literally rolled the same thing twice. It's a 19. I don't know anything.
Yeah, you don't know. Okay, it's a shipwreck south of town. Somebody must have crashed a ship. Somebody must be really bad at steering.
If I rolled 2 natural 20s, and the tarot cards would have told me something.
Potentially, yes.
When you were a boy on the other continent, you heard stories of this epic.
Just literally like your tarot deck glows, and you're like, sir. Oh well, there we go. What did the anthropologist get?
9.
9. Wow, the DC was real low for you.
Only the wizard knows.
You don't know anything just hearing about the shipwreck. Galadier, you know that this is the shipwreck of Davin, who founded Daventry and later became one of the human saints. And you know that it's notable in that the ship was created for him by the gnomes to be the flagship of the Empire, and it is the largest ship that was ever built because it was built to be sized for people and not for gnomes, and it was built to be a proper warship because the gnomes respected Davin so much that they built him one. There are rumors that Davin began to distrust the Empire and intentionally wrecked the ship so that it would no longer be of use to the Empire after he had died, because he wrecked it in the very later end of his life.
Okay, how long ago was that?
About a century ago.
So older than me. Okay.
Yes. Oh, you're a young elf.
I'm 300 something.
A century is 100 years.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Century. No. I was thinking millennia. So, okay, I was alive when it happened then.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why you got a history check for it.
Got it.
Because you were a human alive.
Did I bear witness to it?
Unlikely.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like a big event or anything.
There was a big to do about it when it happened, and after that, Davin disappeared. It's rumored that he survived, but there's no proof.
Okay. Well,
by no proof, we mean he's still alive right now and in hiding.
Yes, this human, clearly alive after a century.
I mean, an elf has done it for millennia.
He's special.
Well, I believe the ship in question is likely the ship of Davin, the founder of Daventry, about a century ago. Crashed the ship so that it wouldn't be used by the people.
It was a warship, and he was growing distrustful of the Empire.
It was a warship, and he simply didn't trust the Empire and didn't want his ship used to their ends, so he crashed it himself on the shore. Let's go investigate. There might be something relevant as to why the porcelain woman is there.
And if she's still there, an enemy to eliminate.
Well, that as well.
What time of day?
Though, if she is on equivalent power level, if she is on equivalent power scale to the dragon, it might prove difficult.
But worthwhile, taking the pawn off the board.
It's about noon. The sun is high in the sky.
What time is it? 12 o'clock.
A lot has happened in the morning.
Yeah.
Because there was like that fire, and then we came here.
That was last night.
No, this is the same day.
Was it?
The fire was at like the break of dawn.
Yeah, this
And
is
then
on
we-
the same day.
but you
I'm just saying this
teleported.
is moving
We
really slowly.
teleported, so it was instantaneous.
Okay.
And
It
then
feels like it's been a long day because of jet lag.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been up for like 3 hours. What's going on?
with that level of roll, you suspect that you could get to the shipwreck by nightfall. If you wanted to. But it would be a pretty... You'd be riding your horses pretty well.
Do I know the location?
You know roughly where it is.
Could I teleport us there?
Sure, if you want to roll. If you want me to roll the mishap chart.
We can travel there. It's fine.
Well, we could ride on the horses. It would take quite a day. The rest of the day if we rode the horses particularly hard. Alternatively, I could turn us into birds or something of that variety.
I prefer being human.
Says the shifter.
She likes to control her own shifting.
I know. There's the irony.
She only shifts into one animal.
Actually, I can only turn myself into... Could I turn myself into a creature large enough for the rest of them to ride?
No.
Large enough for one or two of them, maybe.
You might be able to turn into a giant eagle, and you probably carry the gnome.
Giant eagle carries the gnome.
You may be able to carry Torel. There's no way you're carrying the Dragonborn.
He's kind of frail for a Dragonborn, though.
He's still a Dragonborn.
He's still big.
Well then.
He is of average Dragonborn strength and constitution.
Also, strength and con does not mean you're frail.
Well then. Shall we go deal with this woman?
I think we shall. You know, it's actually somewhat more serene right now. I wonder. Oh yes, the paladin isn't present. Where is he?
That's a very good question. I have no idea.
The paladin seems to have moral objections with raiding a dead man's ship for his lost treasures.
It's not for lost treasures, it's for... Never mind. I'm just getting away.
The paladin has convenient moral objections to the situation. We'll be staying at home with Duncan.
And see.
Who is nursing a hangover?
No. You don't get hangovers from that from the mug.
You just get bad ideas.
That wouldn't be totally rad.
This might actually be pleasant if we don't have him with us.
You know, I'm actually looking forward to it.
All right, you two. That's enough. Let us go and deal with this problem.
Very well.
We set off.
Should we leave the children here?
Probably
The,
is.
the Stitcher is still present. Yes, I think I'll leave the manor door. I just trace the runes in the air for the magnificent mansion.
You don't trust the paladin with your kids?
I really don't.
The mansion comes with us, doesn't it?
No, it stays
Oh,
in
it
one
doesn't?
place.
Okay.
You know, it should be really interesting to interrogate. Should I take soul cage or mental prison for today?
What's mental prison do?
Mental prison does a lot of damage on an intelligence save. Soul cage, if we kill her, I can trap her soul in a cage and ask her questions.
I do the mental prison.
Somehow I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of information out of that person. They
Yeah.
might not even have a soul.
The soul can't lie to me.
It's true, but I don't think they might not even have a soul.
They're animate. They have a soul.
It's not necessarily true. The golems are also animate.
Yeah.
Animated armors are animate.
Literally.
So are you procuring transportation, or shall I?
We still have transportation.
By the way, the paladin is not allowed in the mansion.
We brought the horses.
I love that.
We brought the horses with us. We have transportation.
Very well. Then let us ride. Gnome, are you coming with us? I'm sorry, your name...
Kason.
Kason.
I suppose.
It is an important historic site. And after hearing the story, you do remember something. You do remember hearing a lot about it from the gnomes, but you can't remember what it was. Must have been a day that you were not paying attention in gnome school.
Gnome school. Teaching me how to be a gnome.
Yeah. Gnome school where you learn how to be a
The
gnome.
gnomes do actually have schools at this point, which is unusual for most races.
I don't doubt that whether or not they have schools just to be a gnome.
It's probably not called gnome school. This is accurate.
So just like how I would call her school human school.
Yes.
I don't know what I am.
Actually, no. You'd probably just call it bad school at that point.
That's cool.
These humans don't know.
It's true.
I've seen what they do. I've seen what they do to each other.
Yeah.
You don't know me. You don't know my life.
Pretty certain none of them didn't go to school, actually. You were pretty?
Does that say in character?
No.
Okay.
He doesn't care. He would have to care for that to be said in
Okay.
character.
All right. So you're riding by horseback.
Yep.
Right. So you ride for the rest of the day. It's fairly calm. Daventry is a peaceful enough area. You ride through farmlands. Eventually the farmlands give way, but you're riding along the coast, so you can see some light woods off in the distance. You see a couple of fisher boats, and eventually you get As the sun's just beginning to set, you've passed the point where there are any people, and the shore changes from beaches to more rocky, not cliffs, but they're definitely more jagged. And if you're paying attention, you would not want to steer. It's very obvious this is a bad place for a boat to be.
Well then,
So what you're saying is you would only crash here if you were doing it intentionally.
Roll me in insight.
it would be very difficult to crash here, I think, is the statement.
+1, 17.
Anybody who knew how to sail would know to avoid this, and the waters look fairly calm. So you may. The only possible thing was maybe a storm would blow you into it, but the waters you've seen around here are very calm.
Like, I've sailed once, and I would know to avoid this.
Yeah. You wouldn't even have to have sailed. You just, like...
Lots of sharp rocks and no place to land.
Yeah. It's sort of a, I make a wisdom check. The DC is 1.
Well then, let us see what
I
is
rolled
so...
-2. Well, it looks like a good place to land.
Let us see what is so valuable,
You know, the log would
and
think
so
they could land there.
difficult about getting things out of this.
What time is it when we get there?
You haven't seen the ship yet. The sun's just started going down.
Should we perhaps wait till morning?
Why?
Rest?
We're all well rested.
Might be fun.
We have literally spent nothing. So I took a long rest to recover a couple spells already.
Yeah, we are actually fully rested.
Alright.
Okay.
Like, the only spell that I would get back at a long rest is Magnificent Mansion, which isn't going anywhere.
It's only going to be a problem if you're forced to stay up for like the next 8 hours or anything.
We can rest once we've dealt with the problem.
Alright, do any of you have suck vision?
Currently you do. Now you don't.
Yeah.
Alright. You all see fine in the night.
Because transmutation wizards.
You ride along the coast for another hour until you find a part where it looks
Alright, my book still reads mine.
where it's particularly jagged, and you see out in the water is it the stern? What's the front part? The bow?
Bow.
The bow of a ship sticking out of the water.
The front part.
The front part of a ship sticking out of the water. It looks old and weathered, but it's surprisingly intact, and you can even see that there are details carved on it that have maintained they've maintained a level of engraving that haven't been worn off. The ship was obviously built incredibly well, and out of some sort of wood that is impervious to water damage as far as you can see. It's about 100 yards out into the sea. There's enough rocks that if you were acrobatic enough, you could go out there. And the water's fairly calm. There's some amount of current because of it moving through the rocks. So if you were, you might be able to swim through it athletically to get to the ship.
How deep does it look?
It's deep enough for there to be a ship in it.
And what we're looking for is below the ship, right?
What you're looking for, you would presume, is in the back end of the ship.
Okay. I cast control water.
I could also, I mean, the rest of you can't hold your breath for that long, but we could also just get there quite easily.
Yes, we can. By walking.
Yes.
Tap my staff.
I don't... I mean, technically, you could displace enough water to just walk on the bottom. But...
Part water. You cause water to...
Yeah, no, it's literally a thing you can do.
That's literally what the spell is for.
You tap your staff, the water...
And I can just make a tunnel for... like, if it gets to the point where I can't keep the water parted all the way to the top, it just turns into a tunnel that continues to stay parted around us. I make the underwater tunnel with the aquarium, basically.
Right now, it doesn't go all the way to the ship, but you can start walking and it'll go with you.
Yeah. Very well. Let's continue.
The bottom is... There's a lot of jagged rocks. It's very sharp. Are you all wearing shoes?
Yep.
I have scaly clawed feet.
Yeah, you're accustomed to this. Okay.
All wearing boots
So yeah,
of some kind.
it's rough going. The rocks aren't, especially being out of water, they do a lot of shifting. Everybody roll me a really easy acrobatics check.
I can roll really badly at a really easy acrobatics
Yeah,
check.
so can I.
6.
14.
So it doesn't matter if you roll badly.
16 on the die.
7?
What's your acrobatics check?
No, that was total 7.
It's total 7? So 19.
The two of you are fine. Faust, you nick your feet a couple times, and you end up almost slipping a few times from the rocks giving way. However, it was slightly easier for you because you're bigger. At one point, Caslin, you're small enough that you end up sinking to your waist in these sharp, jagged rocks. And you take 7 points of damage freeing yourself as you just get your thighs all gashed up.
Rogue? Aren't you a rogue?
Yeah.
What'd you
Acrobatics is
roll?
not one of the rogue skills.
No, what'd you roll?
3.
Everyone has a bad day. Like, it looked fine. Like, you stepped on it, and it was fine, and then when you picked your other foot up, that's when it gave in.
I rolled a 4, so...
Yeah, but you're big enough that, like, it went down, it took your shin in.
Yeah. And I'm covered in scales.
Your DC was 5.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyway, you get to the water begins to part around the ship, you notice that there is a sharp drop off. There's a sea ledge.
Yeah.
That this ship has hit.
Okay.
And as the water parts, there's a lot of creaking and moaning as the water that was partially holding it up gives way. And you see this just feet of building before you. The ship is almost 50 yards long, which is, considering the technology, massive.
Yeah.
And it's just leaning on this shelf, and the back end has lowered down to the water, and there aren't any gaping holes in it. It looks like water just got up on the thing and waterlogged the back, and it sunk.
So somebody did what I'm doing to sink it, rather than smashing it into rocks.
There might be more damage from the top. You'd have to check. But this is not a case of this thing was battered in a storm and got broken. This was
purposefully sunk.
That would be your best guess.
Well, that's fascinating. Can any of you swim?
I can fly us through the water. Literally, fly speed, if you don't use wings, functions underwater.
I can yes, I can also...
I don't swim.
I can make the water move us. I'm just trying to figure out how we want to do that.
I
just redirect flow and push us in.
The ledge is probably, it's about a 10-yard drop off. It's not a actual drop off, but it's steep enough that you have no reasonable way to go down. And while it's not as loose as the rest of the rocks are, climbing down would be difficult just trying to scale the surface.
So, and does it look like we can even get into it from the seafloor?
Because there's no broken holes in it, no, you'd have to get up on top of the ship.
So we have to go up top anyway. Or was there a cave below it, I think, was the rumor. I forget which one the rumor was.
The rumors, there were a lot of different ones. From what you can see, it's just resting on the floor.
Okay. Well, we need to go up anyways. Can you float at least?
Willingly?
I mean, yes.
Are you talking about...
I can raise the water up so we can get up onto the ship.
I can do that.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
I just want to know that doing so won't make
off
you...
the ground, which is what
I just wanted to know if that wouldn't make you drown. This way you don't use any of your spells.
I'm quite dense.
Okay.
Physically.
Well, I can make you move. redirect flow. Just shoot you up like a geyser.
Like, none of you are wearing armor, so
All right.
you
so
all have a chance of swimming.
I will basically what I want to do then is in all the water that I've pushed out.
My hide is literal armor. My hide provides me an AC of 13.
Yes, but it's buoyant armor.
That's fair.
Basically, all the water that I've pushed out, I want to summon up underneath us, and then just geyser spurt us up onto the ship.
Roll me a spellcasting check.
Using redirect flow as the ability. That would be a 23.
Everybody roll me acrobatics.
16.
Hey, that's better.
11.
19.
DC's 10.
I know.
You rolled a 1. You did roll a 1, so I'm gonna...
You succeeded, but you crit failed.
I also have a plus 10 to this.
roll me a strength saving throw.
Oh. Wait, that's me.
Oh!
2?
16.
Alright, so all of you land on the ship soundly. You hit some... You were propelled at a chest. You were able to twist yourself so you don't get injured by the impact of the chest, but your arm has lodged itself through a slat.
Ah.
Hold still.
Ah.
I just very carefully with the claws that I can retract, just break some of the wood out of the way.
I try to, because it's a very sturdy ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See what I can
roll me a dexterity saving throw,
I can do
because you're
that.
trying to be very precise.
Yeah, I can do that.
What?
I lift my hands.
Roll me just roll a d20.
11.
What's your strength?
10. I just barely missed.
So you get right in the point, but this is not wood you're familiar with. It's some sort of gnomish wood, and it's been hardened by something. You're not able to break it.
Oh yes, I've seen this before. They did this to their armor.
I'll walk over. You're stuck, are you?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I can help. And I'm going to try to change. I'm trying to transmute the material into something softer.
What spell?
That's an ability I have with transmutation. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Yes, you can turn things into other materials.
Yeah, that's how I did. That's how I got the lead out of the ore.
Ah.
It's just a thing I can do. Hang on. It is class features. Minor alchemy. Yes, I can temporarily alter the physical properties of one non-magical item, changing it from one substance to another. So I'm sort of changing like the wood into
Bread.
or into a softer material.
Yeah.
Clay.
The wood is kind of resilient. You're able to turn it into a softer wood, but you're not able to fundamentally change it.
Does that let me try again?
You can try again, or you can try to break it now because it's in a softer wood.
Go to you.
Get me out.
All right.
Roll me another dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. That's a 19.
Okay, and roll me a
Strength check.
strength check.
That's a 6.
Okay. You've changed it into like a balsa wood. You reach in and you just rip a panel off, and your arm comes out.
All right.
Yeah.
There are some red marks. It didn't pierce the skin, but it didn't feel comfortable. You also feel all the blood flow coming back.
Thank you.
The tinglies.
It wasn't that long enough to get the tinglies. It just gets that sort of like really uncomfortably warm feeling.
Well, we are on the ship now to progress further down.
All right.
All right. So you see there are 2 doors. On the back, there is a door going into some raised part of some raised cabin of the ship, and then there's a trap door going below deck.
Well, maybe we want to go down, don't we?
According to what we've been told.
The trap door.
You go up to the trap door. There is something inscribed on it.
Ooh, I'm going to read it. Or try to read it.
It's in Dwarven, isn't it?
In what language?
I can
It's either
cast
in-
comprehend languages.
It's either in Dwarven or Gnomish.
It's in Dwarven. You can read it. You
I can ritual cast comprehend languages, I should say.
What it seems to indicate is that there is it seems to be a warning to looters that what lays in here was not for mortal men to to tinker with.
Good. So perfect for me.
Just a warning.
It's a warning.
What?
It's a warning.
What sort of warning?
The typical abandoned hope all ye who enter here, sort of.
So likely a creature of some kind rather than a magical artifact or treasure.
Or something particularly dangerous that is a magical artifact.
Something sentient with lots of power, probably needs to be destroyed or removed.
Like a creepy porcelain doll.
Or a creepy porcelain doll.
Or both.
Yeah, then.
Let's find out, shall we?
I just want to check the door and see if the trap door, see if it's like magically sealed.
It's locked. It doesn't seem to be magically sealed.
Okay. Caitlin, would I be correct in assuming that you have a particular set of skills that make recovery of artifacts from dangerous locations more amenable?
Perhaps. Who's asking?
Someone who has a locked door that needs to be opened.
All right.
Alright, roll me your thieves tool.
That's the most egalitarian way of saying, "Are you a rogue?"
So, thieves tool.
Yeah, your proficiency bonus plus your dex.
Yep, thieves tool with dex.
I'll let you use your intelligence if you prefer. Either one. Whichever's higher.
The same number.
Same.
Well, there you go.
That is a 12.
What was it on the die?
What'd you roll on the die?
3.
You are a level 13 rogue. You cannot roll below a 10.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
So what's your thieves tools?
That's the cool thing about rogues, by the way.
Yes.
At level 10, they can't roll below a 10 for level 11.
Thieves tools.
So it should be a
that
20.
One thing you picked for expertise.
I think it was.
So in that case, it would be
Plus
10. So it'd be 20 would be your minimum roll. Oh, sorry. 24 would be your minimum roll.
All right. You slip it first, but you're sliding a piece along, and you find that it was barred from the inside, but you easily enough hit something, and you hear a clatter as the bar
roll below a
falls.
24 to open locks. Talk about rogues.
So there's a loud clatter, and you presume the door's unlocked.
Oh, I'll reach down and try to open it.
It pulls open.
Look down and see what's inside.
It's a ladder leading into a room full of water. It's mostly full of water. Anything to the front part of the front part of the ship is not waterlogged, but it's kind of crooked.
I will, because I'm still holding up control water. I will use, because it lasts for 10 minutes. I will use control water to basically turn the water into a slide. That'll put basically deposit whoever goes down it onto a solid surface.
Okay.
If I can manipulate it like
You basically pull the water up to the northern part.
Yeah.
And then you invert the water air.
Yeah, and then I'll just step down and flow myself down to a solid space.
Okay.
And do the same for anybody else falling behind.
You all enter into a room. It's clearly been vacant for a long period of time. There's a whole bunch of crates and barrels that have been thrown about, but again, nothing's been smashed. It doesn't seem to have hit the most violent impact here. And you do notice, everyone can roll me investigation.
Investigation.
That was a 4 on the dice. Which
Natural
means,
20 makes that 23.
4 on the dice, I think, means I didn't roll above a 10. Hang on.
17?
14.
14.
4 on the dice. Still on the road. Oh, here it is. That makes it that's a 14. 4 on the dice makes it a 14.
Alright, it's pretty obvious from the way that things have moved that there's a door going into the back of the ship. Stuff had been sifted aside to make the door available, and you can all presume that somebody has been here before and done the sifting.
So, with my...
And who got above a 20?
23.
This was not done recently. From the way that the water staining is, it's caught up a little bit, so this was done decades ago.
I've got a question. With my having seen the outside and now having seen the inside, Does it look like if I removed the water from the ship, it would just float again?
I'm trying to think what skill that would even be.
I mean, still using control water, but maybe like investigation.
I mean, you've only got 10 minutes for that spell, so.
Yeah, but it's enough.
You could remove all the water.
It's enough to move several. I've got several hundred feet of it. So water, all the water within several hundred feet is currently in my control.
Roll me investigation with disadvantage
Okay.
because you're not a shipwright.
So 10 and a 15, so 10, 20.
You'd have to do more than just take all the water out, but is the ship salvageable? Yes.
Okay.
Is it as simple as taking all the water out? Probably not.
So if I took all the water out for ease of access for us when my control water runs out, would it affect the way the ship is laying? Or would I have any idea?
It might. You're not entirely sure.
Okay.
If the trap door would have to be closed, and you're not sure how watertight that is.
Okay.
If you're in a giant pocket of air, it's going to lift. It might spin violently. It could do any number of things. You're not sure.
Yeah. Right. Well, I will leave the water as is for now because we only got 2 minutes. So, how many minutes has it been, by the way, since the shore?
I'm gonna say 4.
All right. We've only got 6 minutes left before I need to recast this spell. So let us continue briskly, shall we? Heading towards the door.
All right.
Parting the water so we can get to it.
You go to the door.
Yep.
It is also locked.
Step back. Ooh.
14 on the day.
So plus 14.
We have a rope.
So,
Yeah, we have a robe now. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Because if it's expertise, it's 5 plus 5 is 10. Plus your dex is 4.
Okay.
So 14. So basically, a thief tool put plus 14 right here.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Roll me a perception check. You specifically.
There's 28 thieves tools, so check the perception check. Plus
Facing me with the
13, so that's 19.
You are unlocking this door, and you're about to. You get a thin wooden device slipped between the crack to try to remove the bar from the inside, and you feel a wire, and you stop yourself just in time. That this door is trapped.
Opening this might be a bit tougher. It's trapped.
You can you're able to unlock it. You hear a clatter as the bar falls, but there's still that wire there. And
you untrap
it. Roll me investigation.
It's intelligence one. Well, you got plus 15 then. Or plus 14. No, that's fine. Plus 15 then.
22.
All right, so this wire, it's not a tension wire. As you poke it, you're able to move it a little bit. So you know the trap is triggered by the wire being pulled, not the wire losing tension. So you could probably cut the wire, but it'd be difficult to try to cut it through here. So you could try it, but it would be difficult.
What would I need to roll?
Thieves' tools.
No, thieves' tools again.
Yeah, I mean, it's all using it. You've got a variety of tools. You've got like a sharpened implement specifically for cutting or tripping wires.
You got a set of long, very thin shears.
Yep.
Essentially.
Alright.
So thieves' tools know you can't roll below a 10.
Your minimum roll is 24.
You roll the 10 on the die.
All right.
Sorry.
So you go to cut it. You've got this weird hook device that's meant to cut, but you apply the pressure a little bit too quickly, and it snips the wire right as the trap triggers. Now, there's good news and bad news.
Which one of us dies?
The good news is the trap triggered behind the door, so the door takes the brunt of the impact. The bad news is the door flung open. So you all get advantage on your dexterity saving throws,
And you have evasion.
except for the gnome, because you were literally in front of the door.
You have evasion though, so you'll be fine.
Are you okay?
What'd you roll?
You have advantage, you get to roll twice.
I know!
Did you roll a 1 twice?
I rolled a 1 and a 5.
Okay.
Alright.
I rolled a 5 and a 14.
You still have 15 on that dex thing. So
What?
They take half damage.
Yeah, you take half damage if you fail full damage.
Yeah,
This
you
is a
get plus
dexterity
10.
save.
You roll a 5,
You
so
take
you
half
got
damage if you
15.
fail,
No, I
or
get plus
no
5.
damage if you succeed.
You're proficient in dex
Right,
saves.
thank you.
Also, even if you were proficient, you'd have jack of all trades.
Right.
You add 10.
Right.
20?
24.
I
24?
knew this. I know how to play this game.
I got...
I have 20 total.
That's not what I rolled. I rolled 14, which made it 17.
17,
15.
15,
20.
20. What'd you get?
24.
24.
Alright. You actually, instead of dodging it, you just grab onto the doorknob and you swing open with the door, and it ignores you completely.
Taking no damage.
You were standing by the door and you just duck into the doorway, so it only catches you in the side splash. The two of you were back a little bit, which would have been to your advantage, except it meant that the cone had widened out and gave you less area to dodge.
Okay.
What'd you roll?
20.
No, so you should have succeeded.
Oh, you get 20 and you would
I got a 17.
invert what just happened between the two of you.
Okay, you dodge, I don't.
Sorry. I apologize. It was an 18.
Got it. With the
10,
It's okay.
Sorry.
19. Ow. 34,
Is this a jet of flame?
43.
What
Ow! This is a particularly dangerous gout of acid.
Oh, well, if it had hit me, it would have been fine.
It deals 49 damage to the two of you, and 24 to you, but you take half of that again, so you take 12.
I have 18 hit points now.
As this odd, clear liquid washes over you and then sinks back into the deck. And you look out the door and you're fine. You see a mildly inconvenienced dragonborn and a pair of very, very burnt-looking individuals.
Like the acid splashes on the Faust, and there's just a wave of force that sends it splashing off of him.
It sizzles slightly. It sizzles as it meets your skin as two different acids meet, and it's not comfortable, but it's sort of like taking a gut shot that you're ready for.
Yeah.
You don't like it, but you're ready for it.
I prestidigitation it all off of me, and my clothes back into correct working order. And same for her.
Ow.
You alright?
No.
You need a healing potion.
It's fine.
I need a healing potion.
Probably fine.
Do you have healing spells?
I do.
I could use them. I don't have any healing potions, I don't think.
I don't have any of
I
my.
have healing word, but
I
I
think the
just
paladin had all the healing potions.
I just read it
I have
as healing weed.
This is not Gethrin.
I need my invocations back. I don't have any of my invocations right now.
No, you gotta root through that tarot deck a little bit.
So I've got 18 of 67 hit points.
My invocations are like the key thing about my class.
I'll do healing word on you.
Okay.
I mean, if you take a person patron, you'll get them back quicker.
What am
And
I
don't
rolling?
take people patrons because people patrons betray me.
What am I rolling for healing word?
It's a D4 per level plus your charisma mod.
I'll take an axe if I can find the axe.
Okay.
If we get the
There's something in this boat.
Hey!
I don't know how much you wanted as a patron, but it's in this boat.
We'll find out, won't we, when I interact with it?
It's porcelain one.
I mean, I didn't even include her, but you really don't want her as a patron.
I really don't.
She doesn't want you either. She's lawful, though.
I'm not perfected enough for her.
No. But you could be. She might accept you.
I won't be. I'll be melting her. You should really take cure wounds, I feel,
I really should.
at some
Did
point.
plus charisma each roll?
No, the whole roll.
Every time you
Or the-
cast it, yes, but not.
So like whatever level you cast it at
Okay.
is that many d4s plus your charisma.
Okay. You get 28 hit points back.
That is better than nothing.
That's a non-zero amount.
I'm now at 46 of 67. Good thing I took Soul Cage. I swapped out Vesture of Ice for Soul Cage, so that because I can also drain the life out of something whose soul I capture.
Which is generally not a nice thing to do.
You rolled
No, it's
4
not.
3s in a row.
I don't care. Tell me what I know. No. Tell me what I want to know.
Maybe.
Me devouring your soul hurts a lot more than just dying.
I think I'll let you know.
Alright.
I could probably use a healing potion if you have one.
You should be fine.
If I go down, you all drown.
I don't drown.
If I go down, they drown.
I'll be able to get them out just fine.
Sure.
Also, dimension door.
Also, her son's cure goes away.
I didn't intend for this to be a constant source of blackmail.
Oh no, that's just a him.
Yeah, but she's in the room.
I will find someone else. I don't like the way you were putting this over my head.
Put it over your head.
And his head. Every situation we get into. I will find someone else.
Okay.
We have the most cohesive party.
I simply like to reiterate facts that are important to people in the room.
Alright. You guys ready to go into the next room?
Yes.
Everybody roll me acrobatics checks. Because this floor is at about a 45-degree slant.
17 on die, which makes it
Thank
21.
you.
19.
26.
Hey.
Finally, a roll above 10.
Alright. It's awkward to walk, but moving slowly, you're all able to kind of scale into the next room, and it's a much wider, more open room.
I have claws on my hands and feet.
Yeah, but you can't, between how waterlogged it is and whatever oiling was done to it, you can't sink them into the wood easily. In the next room, it's an open room. Everybody roll me an Arcana.
I'm good at that one. I'm very good at that one.
25.
Since you all are spellcasters and have at least a vague idea of magic.
9.
27.
Since most of you have a vague idea about magic. The three of you are all able to tell that there is a number of protective runes that have been placed here that are dwarvish in origin. And you presume that that's what's resetting these doors and traps, because they're all locked from the inside.
What did that lovely but rustic architecture?
Well, seems like the dwarves really wanted something to stay inside the ship. Does it seem like I could...
Or other things to stay out.
Does it seem like I could do anything?
There's another trap door in the middle of the room. It's at the center of the runes. You're suspecting that these runes are protecting this door.
Yeah, is there anything I could do to the runes to like nullify their protections?
Well,
You could dispel them.
the easiest thing to do would just be hack the runes apart, but that would cause a very unstable backlash of magic, and you're not entirely sure what would happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to
It
do
would be an interesting subject for a dissertation.
If the Paladin or Duncan were here, I'd tell them to do that. It would be an interesting thing to study. But, could I dispel them?
Yes, you could.
Do I have dispel magic prepared today? Is the next question.
I always have my spells prepared.
I do not have dispel magic prepared today.
Do you have any other ways to dispel spells?
Triggering them. Counterspell, but that doesn't quite qualify. Well, the runes around this room are definitely leading to the protections of that door. I say, pointing at it. I do not currently have the capacity to dispel them.
Can I get a guess of, because these are dwarven runes, and I know magic, can I get a guess of what these runes will do to anyone trying to enter the room? With my 27 Arcana.
Is there a linguistics check?
Typically that'd be
Intelligence?
investigation.
Roll me investigation.
I get back here.
Because you've got the linguistics feat, I think.
I did, but now I had to like rejigger this character a couple of times. I have actor now, which because I remember we didn't have any language for me to take linguist. That's still a 21 though.
All right. You were able to cipher together the root origin of these runes. You suspect that these runes are not meant to stop somebody from opening the door. They seem to be keyed off of anything coming out. They look like they're some sort of self-destructive runes.
Like explosive runes, or
you're not entirely sure. Some level of destructive force would occur if anything were to come out of this door. The sealing it in is actually pretty easy. There's one rune in the back that could be easily gotten rid of. They're like, yeah, don't go in, but if you've gotten this far, whatever, you're not coming back out.
It's not the going in that is the problem, it's the leaving afterward. These runes are destructively charged and trigger upon anything trying to leave this room.
I would like to leave.
Which indicates that the object inside is of such importance that they couldn't destroy it or them, but they could destroy whoever came for them. Meaning that the porcelain woman is likely not here any longer. Otherwise, this ship wouldn't be here, theoretically. The amount of power that is invested in these runes. So now I'm curious as to what's inside.
Well, theoretically, as long as we refrain from entering, we could simply look within. Though if the thing is mobile inside and attempted to flee, these runes would likely detonate quite forcefully.
I imagine if it could try to leave, it would have already. Or it is aware of the runes and thus would not try to leave. I also don't have Arcane Eye ready right now. I prepared for a fight with a woman. I didn't prepare for investigations.
I'm also quite interested into the breadth and scope of these rooms. I'm not quite certain how they would react to one entering the room and then teleporting away.
Study, see if you can. If I can teleport out, I can simply go in myself. Or we can all go in, I can teleport us away.
Give me a moment to see what I can find. Also, let the GM get back so you can answer my
Yes,
question.
obviously. That's why I said.
I feel like we're missing a plot device here. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Sorry about that.
The question was raised of, do these rooms seem like they'll detonate if something just leaves the room, or will they react to someone teleporting out too?
They seem to be specifically... It would be anything that goes through that entrance.
So,
Yeah.
teleporting
So teleportation out would probably not trigger them.
Or if it would, it wouldn't be there when the ship exploded.
You would presume as much.
Well, we would likely be able to teleport away, and even should they detonate, the explosion would likely be far enough off we wouldn't be followed. But we could presumably still look within without entering safely.
I have a feeling that we won't be able to see anything from the door.
We can certainly have a look, can't we?
We could try.
Either way.
You said there was one rune actually sealing the front of the door itself.
Yes.
Can I just piece that one apart?
Sure.
Yeah.
Roll me Arcana to see how well you're able to interrupt the rune.
21.
You dismantle it pretty effectively, but towards the end you make a slip. You take 10 damage as the energy courses through you.
Force damage?
Yeah, force damage. That's actually electric damage. As the rune fizzles out.
Put your finger in a socket.
Oh. Well, let's see what's inside, shall we? I just lift the trapdoor. I don't step in, I just lift.
There is a pool of water. perfectly reflective. You wouldn't even know it's water except that it has a slight ripple to it.
Yeah. You know, I grow tired of things that require one to plunge without any forewarning.
I walk over the trap door, look down, and part the water.
Roll me spellcaster check.
27.
Nope.
Nothing happens?
Nothing happens.
Perhaps we can make them go first and then see what happens.
Well, it's resilient to magic.
And that makes me even more concerned.
I'll pull, I will reach into my robe and pull out something. Like what? A rock or an object.
Okay.
A dagger.
So the two of you are standing over it. Where are the two of you in the room, by the way?
She's next to us.
So you're standing over. So you're standing. You've seen into the. What about you?
A bit further back. Just not like behind everyone.
Have you looked into the water? Or are you staying well away from it? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't looked in there. So.
Drop a dagger in.
The dagger hits, and then there's a weird sensation, and the dagger falls up into your hand.
That was interesting.
Everybody roll me perception.
I'm not great at that one. 12.
$26.
14.
7.
You got a jack all trades?
That's
The two of you notice that the door to this room is shut.
Is it locked?
The trap is reset, probably.
The bar is there and the trap is there.
Oh well, I step in.
You step, you fall, and you fall out. You just like the dagger did.
Can I try to step in and step onto the underside?
The hole's about this wide. It's about it's about a meter diameter.
Like try to when I'm at the apex of whatever is about to shoot me back up, could I try to grab
you curl up and you kind of try to reach through, and you end up falling back, and you basically crawl back out into where you were.
I'm gonna sit and ritual cast detect magic.
Yes. Everything in this room is super magic.
I want to know specifically what kind.
You cast detect magic. Hold on, actually, something fun gets to happen.
Magic. I want to.
What are you doing, by the way?
I'm
That
going
should
to
be noticed.
dissect this.
What are you doing since you've seen this stuff?
It takes 10 minutes, so.
Okay.
I did get close to get a better look.
So you got closer?
Yeah.
Okay. You see your reflection in the pool. The two of you notice he's doing some weird stuff. But
I mean, I recognize detect magic in the ritual spell.
all right. So you start to cast.
Yep.
10
minutes to cast detect magic, and then I die, and then
I have Dimension Door. I can get myself in one other out.
if it kills me by casting a spell, it's going to kill you by casting a spell.
all right. So hold on.
I misunderstand what's happening.
I need my father's. I need my father's D10,000 right now. So 479
points of damage. I incinerate and roll up a new character.
She's mad at you right now.
That's fine. He doesn't care. You seem to misunderstand that emotions are the thing he has.
She's so thank you.
All right. As you begin to cast the spell, your mind begins to warble, and you feel did you have a mentor back at home?
Certainly did, yeah.
Yeah. So you had somebody who taught you a lot of things. You feel inexplicable, intense loathing towards your mentor, and it disrupts your spell.
Do I still feel that?
Sort of. It's fading a little bit. You don't like want to stab somebody right now, but you feel really angry at him. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
19.
You're able to piece together that you shouldn't be, and you recognize that this is a foreign influence. You still feel it, but you know you shouldn't.
Can I figure out what did that?
Roll me Arcana.
14.
You're not sure. Best guess it's linked to the fact that you tried to cast the spell, but you're not sure what the detect magic would have to do with.
I try to cast Prestidigitation, just to make the water ripple.
Alright. $4,703. Oh. Pardon me whilst I consult the largest chart I've ever had to. You cast a ripple, and it bounces off the water, and Torel, you have the most uncomfortable feeling as your face ripples like it was made of jello.
This room makes magic not function correctly.
Don't do that again.
It didn't hurt, but it felt wrong.
Yeah.
It also looked wrong.
Faust, do you have any ritual spells you can try to cast?
I think I'd rather not. In fact,
I need to know what happens on others.
Faust just kind of sits down and closes his eyes and just kind of opens his perceptions and just tries to get a sense of what is in this room.
Alright. You doing any particular thing, or are you just trying to...
Just the kind of communion that he does with any individual extraplanar being.
You don't feel anything. You feel that they're the people around you, and there's something else powerful around you, or like some other being present. And there is...
Do I still feel the presence of the tarot deck that's still ever in my row?
Yes, you feel that presence. You feel the presence of people around you. You feel some foreign presence. And you... Roll me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, that thing that I'm really good at.
Yeah.
Get back here.
No! It's got places to go.
Where did you go?
Right there.
Away. It went away.
Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. 27.
Alright. You snap out of it because you felt something and it was about to do something wrong with your head. And you were like, nope!
No,
Those survival instincts hit in.
No, you're not allowed to mess with my mind.
You were able to see it long enough. You're not sure what it was, but it was not... This is not common magics, if that wasn't obvious.
It's old magic. I'm starting to think that the ones who buried the ship were of a right mind.
No.
Heck yes.
Typically they are. However, whatever the presence is needs to be removed. Something's making magic not work properly in this room. It's also making, well, influences on the people inside the room.
I just kind of pull the deck out and start shuffling it and see if it reacts to anything.
This deck of cards is a very, very powerful magical artifact. However, the influence in this room
It's also an artifact.
is also powerful. The cards start reading wrong. Like, not just wrong, like, you look into a card and make me a wisdom saving throw.
Also, permission didn't matter, fortunately. 21.
Some sort of eldritch horror beyond your mind's ability to comprehend begins to appear, and you shut yourself out from the world for a second. It's like, nope!
I try to cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
I have to keep poking at it until I get solid information.
Poking it.
I have to.
3 digits.
You have to keep
2,844.
You have to keep poking the question until you get an answer, or until you die. Those are the only options.
Oh, Galady's a great person to have here.
Please stop poking.
All right. What's your skin color?
Pale.
What's your hair color?
Silver. Like platinum blonde.
Your skin turns silver, and your hair turns
pale flesh.
Pale flesh.
Does the mage hand appear?
No.
I try to cast mage hand again.
All right.
While that's happening, Faust is just going back to the acid trap and seeing if he can figure out whether or not he can disarm it, considering he's acid resistant.
I have a feeling that if we try to leave the room, we explode.
Huh. All the way back to 34. All right. The mage hand occurs, and there is a glowing light on top of your head.
So I've determined that whatever is messing with magic is not messing with magic in the same way each time. The same spells produce 2 different results, which means it either has a mind, or it doesn't, or is simply an entity of chaos.
Yes, you could very easily. This trap was meant for people opening it from the other side.
And the runes don't seem like they would detonate from us leaving this room.
No.
Just if whatever was contained in that pool.
Roll me Arcana.
23.
The ruins are oddly muted. Like, they're here physically, but they're not present magically.
I don't...
Oh dear.
Can I get a sense of...
We should be leaving.
Can I get a sense of... So, because things are behaving not correctly, and we've already, like, gone through the doorway, either, you know, I physically went through it, but I didn't move to a different room, but everybody else is still here. Can I sense if we're in a demiplane?
Investigation?
1929.
Arcana?
14.
You're not where you were.
We've definitely moved someplace else.
Something... It's not like teleportation that you're accustomed to, but something has shifted.
But it was
this is not the world you were in like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we didn't move. The area around us moved.
As far as you can tell, you're in a different place now. How you got there, you have no concept of determining.
I don't think we're going to be able to leave through that door.
Well, we can certainly find out as I disarm the trap and try and open the door.
All right, you disarm the trap, lift the bar up. You open the door.
To the void.
To a field of stars, and I close it.
You get sucked out.
Pardon me. And so you're on a crooked deck.
Mm-hmm.
The floor is level in the next room. And it is a large marble. It looks like it's part of a tower. It's a long corridor with windows on either side that dead ends in a stone wall. The windows are letting in sunlight.
I think I've found where we might find the Stitcher.
We have moved from where we were to a new location. I believe the location we're at now is a location that we can't leave from.
Shall we find out what's within them?
I will stand up, looking like a silver with flesh-colored hair elf, and walk toward the door.
Most disorienting looking at him. This is not the correct color that things should be. The light, by the way, faded away.
Oh, did?
Yeah.
I just extend my claws, making a potent note not to use any magic, and proceed to walk.
Well, at least not to cast any spells. You all walk into this new room?
It's a good way to stop your wizard from doing anything.
You have abilities that aren't casting spells.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I have a sword and a stick.
You can also transmute things.
You can transmute things. You can
I haven't
shapeshift.
tried those actually.
You haven't tried those.
I was able to commune without casting spells.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know that though.
As you all walk into the room, it's a tunnel, probably about 10 yards long. It's wide enough for two to comfortably walk abreast, and there are a pair of windows leading out into. There's a sunlit sky, and looking down, there's a sunlit sky.
Ah, perfectly mirrored realm. This does seem like a kind of place the statue would live in.
I don't know if it's the same woman though, unless she somehow discovered a way to leave this place without triggering those traps.
Or if those traps were simply wholly inadequate for holding someone of this plane.
Is my I assume it might, is my transmutation stone still working on him? Can I tell?
I mean, it's still floating around his head.
Oh no, it doesn't float. You just hold it on your person.
You can't tell.
I have a magic connection.
You have a magic connection? Yeah, you can sense it. You feel it.
Okay, yeah, because I can change it by whenever I cast a transmutation spell, it's not on me. I can change it to something else.
You can feel it.
Okay. Looking around, is there anything here, or is it just an empty marble hallway?
Empty marble hallway, pair of windows, dead end on one end, door on the other.
Go to the dead end.
Okay.
What's the wall like?
I'd make you roll an investigation check, but it's quite obvious. There looks like there should be a door here,
I want to transmute.
but it's stone.
I'm going to transmute the stone door to wood.
All right. You change it to wood.
Right? And then I see if I can push it open.
No. It's fundamentally still a stone wall, just shaped like a door.
Okay, so it's a facade. It's not a.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's nothing.
And it's not even so much a facade as it is like there's an archway where there should be a door, and it's just filled with more stone.
Okay, so
Or now wood.
Now it's filled with wood.
Okay, so turning it to wood doesn't change the fact that it's a wall.
Yeah.
Not a filled-in door.
And you have trouble turning the whole bit into wood at once.
I'll pull out the short sword, the defensive short sword that I have,
Yeah.
and sort of stab into the wood and see if I can't carve a hole through it.
It's pretty thick. This short sword's not going to carve a hole.
Okay.
You would need someone with much more strength and a much larger weapon. Maybe if Duncan was here.
Yeah. Well,
Although, how much wood did you just transmute?
I can transmute. I can transmute 1 cubic foot of material. Up to one after an hour for each 10 minutes I spend performing the procedure, I can transform up to 1 cubic feet. So every 10 minutes I can transform another cubic foot.
You'd probably turn to small, like just a whole
just
section
like
to see through.
Yeah, just to see if I can get through it.
I knock on it. Does it seem like there's more wall behind it? Or does it seem
Roll
like a
investigation.
hall? 19.
It's hollow enough. There's room on the other side of this, but the stone is thick. It's as thick as any of these walls.
Can we transform more of this stone to wood?
Certainly. I can transform up to 6 cubic feet of it. Because after that, the first cubic feet turns back to normal.
Okay, so we can get 6 of them to all be wood at once.
I mean, I can also transform 4 cubic feet and then try to plow through it.
Well, my goal is to melt through all of it at once, assuming this realm still holds the same properties of acid and wood.
Wood melts very slowly with acid.
Stone melts better.
They melt about equally.
Does it?
Flesh melts better.
Does what melts better? Wood, stone, iron, copper, or silver?
Iron melts the slowest of all.
No, copper does. Iron is a little bit porous, so it's also bad.
Silver
Silver tarnishes.
Silver's softer though.
It's a little bit softer, but it's not.
Like of all those materials, silver I think is the softest.
Copper is probably soft. They're about equally soft.
The silver is also much more pure. It's not as porous than.
I can get through a wooden chunk of the wall if I need to. And probably over to a rhino. Could a rhino just break through the stone though?
No.
Okay.
A rhino breaking through a wall, even as a rhino, would be. It would be intense. It would not feel good.
Yeah.
Because you're not hitting your horn into a person. You're hitting it into a literal wall.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking wood, and then.
Even as wood, it's several. It'd be. If you based on what you've seen, you would suspect that this wall is as thick as the others, and if you look at the window, almost a foot and a half thick.
It's less than a cubic foot material, so I could probably turn a lot of it into wood.
Yeah, but a foot thick of wood is
Still a lot.
still hard.
I mean, 2 great swords worth of acid damage might be able to get through. I mean, my acid breath is 4d6 in a line now.
2 greatswords wouldn't get through this, though.
Yeah.
Any other ideas? I'll go back in the room and try to figure it out from there.
I look outside the window. It's just like sun above and sun below. Is there any ground?
Sun below, then probably not.
How do you approach the window?
I stand at it.
Are you just looking at it like arms folded, or are you actually leaning out to look around?
I'm looking at it like arms folded. I'm not leaning out the window yet.
Just looking through it, all you can see is sky and sunlight.
No.
And it's weird, the sunlight doesn't seem to... You can't see the source of the sunlight.
Okay. Given that, and I see no horizon, no land anywhere all the way out to, as far as my eyes can see, I will very cautiously and slowly look, lean out the window, ready to pull back should I see anything coming at me.
Are you going to touch the window to lean out, or are you very intently not touching the windowsill?
Yeah, very much don't make physical contact with anything.
You look out, you see up. It's roll me an acrobatics check to maintain your balance doing this, actually.
Take my hand away.
20?
It's an natural 20.
Alright, you're able to lean out pretty far. You look up. Stone wall. It's flat stone wall. Harsh cut to sunny sky with no sun. You can't see anything as far as directions go.
The answer's not outside. It's going to be inside.
I kind of put my hand on the sill to lean back in.
Alright. The sill moves.
Mm-hmm. With me in it.
You lean back, and it you can't pull perfectly back, so you lean off to the side a bit. And as you pull on it, the window slides off to the side.
With me still in it.
Like you fall to the ground out of the window, on the inside.
On the inside.
Like it's on rails.
Almost. It's more like it's free floating in the wall.
I put my hand on the sill and I try and move it with my hand.
You drag the window.
I drag the window over to the wall.
You drag it to the wall, and you can see into a new room.
Can I grab the edges of this window and bend it wider?
You can fit through normally.
Okay, just making sure.
This is a large window. It's almost doorway. It's almost door sized.
I'm already simultaneously more interested and hating this place.
Walk through the window.
All right. You walk into a new room.
I drag the window with me.
You can't.
Okay.
It's stuck on these walls. You can't pull it in and out of the walls.
Okay. Can I drag it along the length of the wall though? Like if I go along the sides of the room?
No, because the next room is not stone.
Okay.
The next room is looks like a collector's room. It's a log cabin that you're in, and there's a door at the end. There's a fire in the fireplace with something roasting on a spit that seems to be turning itself. Good meals.
Dwarves were fans of random architecture.
And there is a corpse that does not look like it's meant to be in this room.
Have you ever seen a corpse?
It's alabaster
What about an
white
exquisite corpse?
and almost completely featureless and naked.
Is
So-
my body still messed up?
Yes.
Does this appear to be the
Does it
Stitcher?
look like the girl?
It's not a girl. It's been neutered. You can't tell which one it was.
Oh, we're in near automata now. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like her handiwork though.
Mhm.
I will approach the exquisite corpse.
Okay.
Look down at it. Is it alive? Is it dead? Is it?
As you approach it, you notice its feet are on the ground, but its face hasn't quite impacted yet, and it looks like it's falling as though to try to catch itself, but it hasn't quite hit the ground yet.
So it's just like so stuck in time like this?
Yes. Just inches off the ground.
I use my staff and like hover it between it and the floor. Nothing?
Nothing.
You said there's a fireplace?
Yeah.
Is the fire burning? Or is it?
Yes, the fire's burning.
So it's like in real time. It's not
In real
stopping.
time. The spit is turning in real time.
The spit is turning by itself.
Yes.
The spit's turning by itself.
Is that really the most surprising thing in the room right now?
There's a variety of things in this room. I'm going through them one by one. I see if I can pick the person back up and put them on their feet where they were falling over.
You lift them back up, and it's pretty heavy, but you're able to lift it back to its feet.
I mean, it's obviously not very heavy if it was floating.
It feels like the weight of a completely featureless human.
Yeah. Does it feel like flesh?
Yeah. But as you push in, it doesn't bounce. The flesh doesn't bounce back like it should.
It's a non-Newtonian person.
Like, I mean, if I push into my arm, there's
Yeah.
a divot there.
Yeah.
Imagine if I pulled my finger away and that divot was still there.
It's a non-Newtonian person.
Does it have like? Is it featureless in the face as well?
Yeah.
Or does it have like eyes? And
It has a just perfect calm expression on its face.
eyes open, closed.
Open.
Is it looking around, or are the eyes focused at all, or are they just
The eyes are focused.
on something?
Not anymore.
What are they focused on?
The floor.
Okay, so now they're just staring out ahead.
They're staring at something right here.
Okay, so like, okay.
Eyes are like crossing a little bit, staring at something that's right in
I
front
put
of
a
them.
hand up in front of the eyes and wave it back and forth. Pull out a dagger and just cut it. Does it bleed?
Nope.
Put the dagger back.
That said, you recall that the Stitcher doesn't leave blood in her corpses.
It's true.
It's imperfect.
That one, the Stitcher's handiwork.
I'm very uncomfortable here.
I give it another imperfection with a claw rake across its face.
You claw its face. You can do things to it in real time, but they're frozen into it.
I'll look around, see if there's anything else around here.
Okay. It looks like a very idyllic hunter's lodge, aside from this now now messed up corpse. And there's a door at the end. There's a fire. There's a little table in the corner. There's a dog curled up under the table
Sorry, what?
on a bed.
Is the dog alive?
Yes,
Is the
it's
dog...
asleep.
Okay. Let
Is
sleeping
it
dogs lie.
breathing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let sleeping dogs lie.
It's getting like the landlady vibes.
I'm gonna go over to the door and see if I can open it.
How do you try to open it? There's a handle to pull on. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Is there a keyhole?
No.
I press on the top of the door. Does it pivot on a horizontal axis?
No. Good call.
So are we like outside of a hunting lodge?
No, you're on the inside.
Okay, we're on the inside of a hunting lodge. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We're not outside. Are there desk drawers? Or are there windows?
I throw the corpse into the fire.
That was going to be my next course of action.
It does not catch on fire. The fire wraps around it, but you can't...
But it doesn't burn.
Yeah, because that would require it to respond in time. No, there are no windows.
Well, besides the one we came through?
I mean, yes, they're looking back at it, it's gone.
Yeah. Well, I assume that the trick to getting out of here has something to do with the body that is now currently not on fire.
I doubt it's even hot. I grab the leg that's still out of the fire and pull it back out.
It has not absorbed any heat. You're correct.
I go over, grab the body, and drag it over to the door. Prop it up like it's trying to open the door.
And one of the most macabre things you've ever done in your life.
Don't care.
Just
experimentation.
Just for appearance sake. It does nothing.
I have it turn the handle.
It's not a door handle.
Oh.
Doorknobs have not been invented yet, sir.
I have it. I use its arm to try to open the door.
There's one object in this room that is constantly in motion right now.
Yes, we're gonna have to kill the dog probably.
No. Object. I take the corpse and I put its hand around the spit on like the handle of the spit that's turning.
You strange.
The spit keeps turning, but the way that the way that the thing's arm is moving is not as though it's turning the spit.
Okay. It's just like a bad clipping, just like
Yes.
Well, actually, quite frankly, the one thing that's out of place here is the body, not anything else. Which means that it's part of the solution. The question is just how. Is there like a wardrobe in here?
Yep.
Is there a window in here?
No.
I already asked. I go and open the wardrobe. Are there clothes in there?
Yes.
Shall we play dress up? I say pulling out the clothes from the wardrobe and tossing them over to Faust.
The
solution to the last one was to move the window.
You're not wrong. Sure.
You play dress up.
I don't think this is gonna
Are you putting it in night clothes? Are you putting it in like the leather armor with the hunting bow? Are you dressing it up in the greens and the camo, or putting the winter cloak on it?
I want it to fight me, so I put it in the armor with the bow.
Okay.
I want it to fight me so I can stab it.
It turns human and starts bleeding out of its face
Yeah,
and just like dies.
You put clothes on it. You have a very weirdly responding doll.
I really want it to fight me so I can stab it.
Can any of us talk to animals?
I can.
I point at the dog.
I drink one of my healing potions.
Yes. You want to kill it again?
No. Should we talk to it?
Sure. Alright, she's gonna walk over and wake up the puppy.
The puppy looks at you. It wags its tail.
You're so cute.
Cats speak with animals.
I know what I'm doing.
No, I'm just saying next I want to see what happens.
You know what I'm doing. She's gonna cast Speak with Animals.
And the magic of the realm goes insane.
Well, first of all, we're going to see if that spell happens. No. Well, let's look at what does happen.
Dog starts talking to you.
In reverse. Animal speaks with you.
Let's hope.
And so with Russia. Animal.
All right. 634. Nothing happened, but you're not sure what.
Nothing happened. You're not sure what.
Sorry. Nothing happened. Something should have happened. You feel like something should have happened, but you're not sure what. Sorry.
Like I'm not the.
No. Here, do we? Has her hair and skin changed places?
No.
Okay.
Do I have a tail?
I mean, not when you don't normally have.
Oh, okay.
So what's over the fire again?
It's it looks like a wild boar. It looks delicious.
Does the dog have a bowl? A dish? for
Yes.
food?
Well, I mean, not so much a dish as a place that you suspect the dog eats from. That's kind of like grease laden.
Feed the dog?
Sure.
You go over, you hack a piece of the boar off. The dog happily eats it.
Can I make an investigation roll to see how we get out of this room?
Sure. Roll me investigation.
Because I'm out of ideas. 18 on the die, that's 28.
What are you investigating?
How to get out of the room.
You have to give me at least a section of the room you're investigating.
Get us out.
The door.
You go over the door. You fiddle around with the door for like 10 minutes. You yank on it. You do. Finally, you're like, "Is this door even go anywhere?" And you knock on it, and it just creaks open.
Open it and walk through. Faust, kill the dummy.
I put claws through its throat and then leave.
All right.
Really necessary.
With that, I think we're going to take a real quick 5-minute break.
Faust and I are on the same wavelength right now. Fuck this shit.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Alright, guys.
Were we back on that phrase?
No, we were not.
Oh, damn it. That would have been great.
Alright. You guys go into the room?
Yes, I go in first.
Alright.
Get me out of this funhouse.
What, are you having fun?
No, I'm not.
Don't call it a fun house then.
That's what you call houses you don't have fun in.
Alright.
How about a house of horrors?
You walk into a cathedral.
What's in the cathedral?
It is a mass of pews, pillars, and a pulpit. And behind the pulpit is, guess.
Either the porcelain lady, the Cicer, or one of her creations.
Actually, a door.
Or a door.
We're in a watch and play right now.
Yeah. I go to...
We were actually just looking out at the sub-ocean a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I go to the door.
It has a keyhole. You are in a watch and play now.
Yeah, to find keys to open doors, to find keys to open doors.
I try to cast knock on... Wait, hang on. I haven't prepared. Hang on, let me make sure I have prepared.
Have you prepared knock?
Yeah, I have prepared knock. I might not have. I did not. Never mind.
Oh, darn! Fun stuff would have happened if you had.
We need to find a key, maybe. I don't know. I knock on the door.
It's a door.
Okay, we need to find a key.
I try to
maybe.
open the door. There's a keyhole. They never said it was locked.
It's true.
Good call. It is locked.
I push at the top to see if it opens.
Nope. Do you thoroughly bushwhack the door?
I kill the dog.
No! Stop trying to kill the
The
dog!
dog's not in here.
What is in this room?
A pulpit, pews, and a door.
Alright. Yeah, pulpit, pews, doors, a door.
I examine the pews for random keys.
I'm gonna start searching for keys.
I search the
So
pulpit.
you're searching the pews, you're searching the pulpit. What are you searching?
What else is there in here?
The pulpit of the pews, really. That's about it.
Building stuff, stained glass windows, pillars, that sort of whatnot.
Is there a key on any of the stained
along-
glass windows?
I will check along the walls, like the pillars, the stained glass.
The pillars are central. The walls are exterior.
I will check along the walls.
Alright.
Stained glass.
Where are you checking?
What are you doing, Mr. Gnome?
The door.
You're gonna
Around the door.
all of you roll me investigation checks.
I almost rolled that like it was a
Hey, look at that. It's a natural 20. Which makes it a 30.
21.
And what are you're investigating the pulpit?
Yeah.
Alright. In the pulpit, you find a wand.
Ooh. Does it thrum with power? Or is it just a wand?
It's magical.
Can I determine what it does? Arcana check?
Roll me Arcana.
Determine what any magic in this plane does.
18.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea to try to figure out magic here. Something's weird with every bit of magic.
Use it on the door.
I go and see if it unlocks the door.
It does not unlock the door.
Stick it in the key. Turn.
You get a feeling that this wand is just a magic item and that has nothing to do with the solution to this room. What'd you investigate, and what'd you get?
The pews, and I got 21.
You investigate the pews, and do you want, there's a bunch of collection money.
Don't give a damn.
Do you want to steal it or not?
I do not care about the money. I'm
Okay.
looking for a key.
You ignore the cash. Alright, what'd you get on the door?
27.
Sure as a door. What about you?
No, sorry, 18. 18 for the stained glass.
The windows don't actually lead anywhere. So you can't break through the windows.
Mm-hmm.
And no, there's no keys hidden in the windows.
Alright.
Is there like a key like in the design of the window?
No, that
That's
was...
what I was thinking.
Okay. Check the pillars for hollow spaces? Or the... actually, no. Check... Can I see the collection plate?
If there's one at the end of each of the pews.
I'm going to go through the collection plates and just look at everything that's in them. Like, pick it up, turn it over, see what it is, test it, see if it's actually what it says, what it looks like.
It's all gold.
How much is there?
About 1,000 gold.
I'll take it.
Be like, darn, no key. Dump. Darn, no key. Dump. Darn, no key. Dump.
So many lightning strikes.
I don't care.
You do notice that this cathedral is completely devoid of any actual religious symbolism.
It's a stained glass window. Just a stained glass window.
Just a stained glass window.
It's a series of pretty patterns.
There's no, like...
It's really ambiguous. It's like dudes, you know, with... There's a dude with a flag. There's a dude with a sword. There's this woman administering aid to an injured man. It's just super ambiguous.
It's not actually, like, religious.
No.
I mean, even wise Gallagher wouldn't care. Gallagher's not a religious guy. The gods exist.
Anybody want to roll intelligence saving throws?
Yes.
Sure. 21.
Natural 20.
Yeah, 11.
Makes it
The gnome gets advantage.
25.
Roll again, see if you get higher.
21.
So 25, what'd you get?
natural 20, which makes it, hang on,
I can take a couple.
I think it's a 30.
30? What'd you guys get?
21.
Something low, 11.
Yeah, natural 20 makes it a 30.
Okay. You look around. Not all these pillars are load bearing.
Which one isn't load bearing?
Uh,
Or is there one that isn't, or are there several that aren't?
There's one that's not load bearing.
I want to go over to it.
Okay, it's a pillar.
Does it shift at all?
No.
Just want to look sort of investigate it and see what's up with it.
Okay.
Are there any hidden compartments, or if it can be moved?
It doesn't move easily. It's not made of any hidden compartments.
22 investigation, just to look at it. Look it over.
This one is literally just a column of rock. It serves no purpose.
This pillar is not structurally required.
Let me guess, kill the dog.
Yes. I turn it to silver.
All right. It's now a silver pillar.
Push it
Just
over.
waiting for that to backfire and have him turn into silver.
I already have turned into silver.
All right. It falls over. It shatters into a million pieces, and there's a key inside.
Pick up the key, go to the door, unlock, open.
There you go. Stop rolling the blasted portal window. There we go. You enter a room, at the end of which is a sphinx. The rest of the room is completely unremarkable. I'm not even going to give you the details.
The rest of the room is completely unremarkable. At the end of the room, there is a sphinx. Finally, something with intelligence.
It looks at you.
Maybe.
Well, hello there. It's been a while since I've had anyone to talk to. There was that woman, but she was not as interesting.
What do I know about sphinxes, if anything?
They love riddles. You know what's coming.
What is your riddle?
I have 3 riddles.
Of course.
And to make the game more interesting, I shall require you to ask me riddles that I fail to get through. That last lady was so dreadfully boring. Knew the answers to all the riddles, but had no imagination. So,
Do I Lord of the Rings this? Or do I The Hobbit this?
my first riddle for you. Let's start with an easy one. If you speak my name, you destroy me. Who am I?
Silence.
Your turn.
Can I make an intelligence roll to see how well what's in my pocket will go over?
Sure.
23.
I mean, if she accepts it, then she's bound to it, but she is under no obligation to accept that as a riddle.
Thought I'd try. Do I know of any ancient high elven riddles that are particularly difficult to decode?
I don't know, do you?
Yes.
Sure.
What is the road that has a definite end, runs seemingly forever, but grows shorter with every passing moment?
Definite end. Runs seemingly forever and grows shorter with every passing moment. Your life.
My patience.
Creative. Played. I like it. The part of the bird that is not in the sky, which can swim in the ocean and yet stay dry.
Say that one again for me. I missed that whole sentence.
The part of the bird that is not in the sky, that swims on the ocean, yet always stays dry.
Nothing, because if it rains, it doesn't matter.
It's
Actually, it's gizzards.
I'm.
Could you repeat that one more time, please?
The part of the bird that is not in the sky, which swims on the ocean and always stays dry.
It's not a bird.
Yeah.
I'm very tempted to say it's song, but I feel like that's not correct.
But you're on the right path.
Birds squawk. Birds cry.
You're drifting
Birds
away
are
from the path.
Yeah. No, song's on the right path. It's not my direction. Birds piss. Can I make an intelligence saving throw to find the answer?
You may make an intelligence saving.
Because Gallaudet is infinitely smarter than I am.
Yes.
25.
Something is ringing back to the way you got in here.
To the way I got in, like into this room? Or
Into this
the-
realm.
Into this realm.
Yeah, something about that sticking in your head.
Oh, the reflection.
Yes.
Aha.
Do you have one for me?
I did. I didn't. I knew this one. I just had to look up the wording.
All right.
Yeah. Bye bye. Dang it. Alright. Actually, no, I don't like that one. Does anyone else have a good one?
I'm just going to remember the wording.
I think this one's way too easy.
I am the ruler of all life. Many have tried to control me, but none can conquer me. What am I?
Oh, if it's one of those lame time ones. Ruler of all life, none can conquer me. Death.
Hunger.
Fair enough. Oh, sure.
You can control it, but it'll eventually come back. As you proved when you lost your power.
Oh, I'll allow you access to the door. She steps aside. There's a door. There's an inscription on it.
What does it say?
I run smoother than most any rhyme. I love to fall, but cannot climb.
Water or a river?
Do any of you have any water on you?
I pull out a water skin
Okay.
and pour it on the door.
The door dissolves away.
Walk through the door.
Walk through the door into a room. Let's find out what this room is. Stop rolling that number. It really wants you to go to that room where you move the window.
That's fine. We know that one already.
You know how to get out of that one.
Oh my goodness. It also wants to go to the room where you knock on the door.
We know how to get out of that one.
Alright. You walk into a room. This one's real easy. The doorway at the end. There's not even a door on it. There's a giant pit in the middle.
Do we see anything at the bottom of the pit?
You can't see that far.
In Hebrew,
Oh,
Jehovah's name is spelled with a Y.
The room itself is. It looks like you're actually in a ship deck room. It's made of that. It's the sort of wooden structure with the archways and the rafters.
Block our access to the door.
Yes. It's like a hallway with walls, and there's just a section about 20 yards long with no
I
floor.
use my staff to see if there's an invisible floor.
No.
I go all the way back and forth.
No visible floor.
How tough are these walls?
I turn into a bird.
Yep.
I fly across.
You are across.
I see if I can open the door.
There's not even a door. It's
There's
just,
no door.
Yeah.
On the other side, is there any like lever or anything?
Nope.
I land on the other side and turn back. Well,
How sturdy are these walls? Like, can I actually sink my claws into them?
they're not as sturdy as the Noma ship. You might be able to try to climb across that way, but it would be a heck of a climbing check.
Yeah, my strength isn't that great. I have proficiency in athletics, but
You can do it. It's possible.
I can only turn myself into a bird, unfortunately.
magic is still absurd here.
I mean, magic has a chance of succeeding. You've seen magic work.
My magic is weird by itself because it's warlock magic. I'm gonna try and cast fly on the three of us.
All right. That time it fails. And
Fortunately.
I only got 3 of those.
5,520 happens.
I fly anyway.
Like we know what this is.
Just backwards. You explode.
You're reduced to 0 HP. You're not bleeding out, but you just fall unconscious.
Really?
Yep.
Called it.
Actually, do I have Defy Death?
I
know I have.
Yes, you do have Defy Death.
I succeeded death saving throw and regain 1d10 plus my Constitution hit points. 3 hit points.
All right. You black out for a second, and you pull yourself off the ground.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I hate this place.
Do you need me to heal you?
I probably will at some point.
The door behind them is gone.
Yes. Actually, no, it's not.
Oh, it's not?
It's still there.
It's still there? Okay. All
Yep.
the doors behind us previously have gone. What's the
No,
chances?
only the door to the original room you entered
Okay.
is gone.
What are the what are the chances of me walking through this archway pulls them along with me like a really bad video game?
You don't know.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Your body.
I mean, you can see through it partially. It's like all the doors. It's kind of hard to see through it before you walk through, but you see a fuzzy image of
Just pick the next room.
You see a fuzzy image of a cave room.
Look back. There's a cave through the archway.
First, we have to get over there.
Is there a ceiling?
Yes.
Hi.
Ship height, so like 8 feet.
So I almost scrape it.
Yes.
I go over to the wall and push.
It's sure as a wall.
It doesn't like flip the whole room sideways or anything.
No.
I reach down and grab the boards underneath my feet and try to pull them out.
I mean, it's strength.
Like not up, but like as if they would extend.
I still have the spider climb boots.
Yes, you do.
You do. I do too.
I could probably carry the gnome, but I can't carry Faust though.
I forgot I had spider. I keep forgetting I have spider climb boots. I could have just done that.
You weigh a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
Would the spider climb boots fit Faust?
Yes, they're magical. They'll fit anyone.
They require attunement though.
Require a short rest to attune.
But they don't.
They do.
No, they don't.
Oh, hers don't, I guess.
DM says no. Here, put these on.
I take them. Go for a hand. I walk across with her.
What about the gnome?
I can come back for the gnome.
How much do you weigh?
She's average weight, so
104, 130, 140.
yeah, something like that.
All right. It's a struggle, but you're able to carry her across. It's awkward walking sideways carrying someone, but you can. And you come back and you get the gnome and you come across.
Yep.
That was easy. All right. You go to the next room?
Next room. Yeah, I keep forgetting I have mine too.
All right.
I always remember I have my gloves and missile snaring. I just never get to use them.
I can change that.
Not while I got 3 hit points, please.
You asked for it. You also
So-
have healing potions.
And the next
Wouldn't
room,
that be the first one to
it's full of archers. No kidding.
Next room is full of archers.
How do you guys?
The next
I'm
room,
gonna drink my other healing potion.
it's a cave. And
Archers shooting these dogs.
There's a door at the end with a keyhole.
Not
And
a
there-
cave.
Is this giant glass box. It looks like it's about 2 yards in diameter in all directions, full of water, and there's a key floating in the middle of it.
Is my control water still up? If it's been more than 10 minutes, then it isn't, but I don't know how long it's been.
It is.
I see.
I'll say you pushed it into the circlet.
Okay. Yeah. I'll see if I can part the water and get the key out.
All right. As you bring the active, the light above your head glows again.
Okay.
You can't seem to affect this water. Like, it's not registering as water.
A light above my head glows. Not registering as water, huh?
Yep. It's some clear liquid.
Can we get around to the top of it, or is
Yeah.
it suspended in midair, or what?
No, it's a glass box on the
How
ground.
big? On the ground.
It's about 2 yards. It's about man height.
All right. Walk over to it. Could it fit in the bag of holding?
No, you can't get it through the opening.
I couldn't get the bag of holding over it? Okay. That would have been just, thwomp. Okay, key.
It doesn't work like that either. If you put something in a container in a bag of holding, you still have to reach through the container.
Who wants to stick their hand in the probably acid?
It's not open.
Oh, it's not? Oh.
No.
Could I have that stone back, Faust?
I hand the stone back. Suddenly it's dark.
I change it to acid resistance.
It's actually not dark in here.
Oh, good.
I change it to acid resistance,
Okay.
and then I pull out a dagger and chink.
Make a damage roll.
Or a short sword, actually. But,
Yeah.
She volunteered to
5.
something instead of problematic.
Definitely not.
Alright, you crack it,
I just wanted to hear.
and then... the thing inside shatters outward from it.
It's a news.
It's an ooze.
Yeah.
I was right about acid.
And roll initiative, everybody.
All right. In this realm, ooh, natural 20.
The realm you can't
Austin,
cast spells.
In
Don't-
this realm where I can't cast spells.
Don't roll a d10 for your... This is not 2nd edition.
23.
16.
Whatever number.
Who got above a 20?
Me.
What'd you get?
22.
Alright, so Galadir, Torel. What'd you guys get? 10.
16.
Alright, it's going super last. It got below a 0.
-2 initiative. It's surprise.
Yes, actually, it is -2 initiative. John, what are you doing? Didn't roll a 1.
Best spells are spells.
Yes, they are.
I have weapons. They're not amazing, but they'll go.
It's not a high challenge rating monster, but without your spells...
I wouldn't get to be a hexblade right now.
I know, right? I'm going to stab it with my short sword.
Alright.
It is a magical short sword. That is a... it's dexterity. That is a my dexterity is +3, +5 is 8, so 17 + 8 is 25.
Yeah, you hit.
Okay. 5 + 3 is 8 points of damage from the magic short sword.
Alright. Short sword does not seem super effective
Nope.
because it's a piercing weapon on a creature that kind of just absorbs it. It did hurt it a little bit, though. Roll me a strength check. Might be strength saving throw.
As it tries to keep your sword.
To get your sword back out.
Okay, I only have. I'll try this
16 plus
Yes.
a negative probably.
You make it, though.
Okay.
Alright. Torel.
Okay, I'm gonna try to more bludgeon it with the Kasarigama.
With the weight, presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the weight on it.
You go all hammer shot style.
Okay.
Meteor hammer, that's what it's called.
What?
Meteor hammer, that's what it's called.
Is 17?
Yes.
Oh no,
Okay.
my strength is 10.
Okay.
My charisma is -1.
That is.
Your attack bonus, by the way, is a +10 as well. When you rolled an 8, you said 17. It's actually...
Oh, it's a 10. Oh, well, it hit either way. Okay, that's 8 damage, and I get a second attack.
Yes, make your second attack. And that splat seems to have done a lot more than the sword.
Turns out bludgeoning damage.
I can never tell. Is this a 6 or a 9?
That would be, it's next to the 11.
It probably doesn't matter.
It looks more like a 9 than a 6 one.
What are you doing, William?
I'm going to hit it with my stick.
Alright.
That's a 19 to hit.
You hit.
If it's between the 6 and the 11, then it's 9. If
Yeah,
it's between the
it's
9 and the
nine.
14, then it's 6.
And that's
Yeah, it's next to
7
the 11.
damage.
It's 9.
Alright.
The fact they put the 6 and the 9 right next to each other is...
Go ahead, Torel. Alright, not Torel. William, what are you doing?
Yeah, hit it with a stick.
Roll your attack. Do whatever you're doing as well, Rudy.
Okay.
That is
The only
a
thing I can't do.
18 to hit.
What?
The only
Because
thing
I can't use
shoot.
my
Shoot
shillelagh,
it.
so that's an 18.
Yeah, you hit. Oh, you can cast it.
No!
Ah, so much fun to roll on this chart.
Unless I can,
That's 6 damage.
We're right next to it, so you get sneak attack.
But it's blunt.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, you'll get sneak attack.
Awesome.
But it's going to be the same type of damage that whatever you hit it with. So if you're shooting it, it'll be piercing still.
Still more damage.
can you can't really sneak attack a gelatinous cube.
Sneak attack works on everything.
All it requires is that. You have
I don't think you can sneak attack a gelatinous cube.
I mean, if you want to, redefine the way that this class works, sure.
Yes, I am. Because I think it's silly to sneak attack a gelatinous cube.
I mean, we think it's silly to do 761 points of damage to a dragon in one hit, but we didn't stop you from doing that.
Yes, it is.
11.
Hits.
Its dexterity is presumably 4, so 3. Okay.
It's a -4.
5.
All right. You did something.
I did.
It's its turn. There's 2 people in front of it.
I look weird.
You do look weird. And you're the one who broke it out, so it's probably going to go for you. Yeah, it's going to go for you. It tries to walk on top of you. Roll me a strength saving throw.
Natural 1.
All right. You are now in the cube.
Okay.
You have resistance to acid damage?
Yes, I do.
That was a good life choice you made.
I control the cube and Gallagher's. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Have fun leaving.
You take 14, so half 7 acid damage.
Okay.
And it's going to attack.
The difference between me and the paladin is I have exceedingly more uses than the paladin.
You think very highly of yourself.
It's going to attack Faust.
Everyone in this party thinks very highly of themselves. It's the one thing everyone has in common.
I've got some bad news, Faust.
Stop rolling natural 20s to attack me.
I mean, some days the
It's
dice.
every single time you attack me.
Not every time.
Dice and you have an interesting relationship, William.
It is literally every time he attacks me.
Oh.
I don't attack you frequently, though. Well, you're definitely going down to 0 because you're at 3 hit points.
No, I'm not.
You're not?
I chugged a potion.
All right. Well, let's determine damage then. Oh, you're acid resilient, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Sweet.
I am always acid resistant.
Okay.
That's why I took the stone.
So 20 halved. You take net 10 damage.
Good.
And this thing slams into your chest, and you feel like this would have caused a lot more damage if you weren't Dragonborn.
That wasn't specifically a black dragonborn.
Yeah, so you basically just negate the crit because it was double damage and it would have had further effects, but you said no. So there you go.
Call that a crit.
I mean, I'm critting you with acid, and that's your thing. So, Galadier.
I'm casting Disintegrate at it.
All right.
Because I have nothing else I can really do right now.
That's a life choice you're making. Let's determine if it works.
Cast spell. Does it go off?
Yes.
All right. I don't care if I die. I'm killing it.
Glad you don't care if you die.
I don't.
It's not a disintegrate that goes off, it's a fireball in your square.
No, it's definitely disintegrate. 9,633.
It's over 9,000!
It is over 9,000.
Is that bad?
Yes,
I don't
probably.
know.
Is it?
It's a random chart. It could be anything.
It's probably bad.
It could be you explode in like a thing of like kittens. I don't know.
That's an interesting effect. Okay, so that happens. Roll your damage for your disintegrate. And what kind of saving throw is it?
It's dexterity saving throw.
I like that that
Okay.
happens.
It probably fails.
I mean, can it succeed at dexterity saving throw when I'm inside it?
I mean, it rolled negative. So, no.
2, 4, 6, that's 10.
Disintegrate's a very dangerous spell.
20.
If it makes a dex save, it does nothing.
30. 40, 80 points of force damage.
All right. So,
And if it reduces whatever it hits, if it reduces it to 0, it's turned into ash. So I may be a pile of ash inside the cube in there.
so how many hit points do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should cast
I
it.
have. You can't regenerate.
You can't
I
regenerate
can't
ash.
regenerate them.
I have 39 hit points.
All right.
So
So,
rolling with the new character.
let's...
Let's
Let's see what happens to you first.
There are a series of things that could go very right for you.
That's fine. A warlock would be fun.
All right.
John just likes to roll up new characters.
I mean, I like rolling up new characters, but when I'm in a situation where my spells,
4, 5, 6,
which are
7,
literally
8,
the
9,
only thing I can do, don't work right.
15, 16, 17. No, you do not get true seeing on yourself. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Do I get advantage from my war wizard feat?
What does your War Wizard feat do?
It gives you
Only advantage on concentration checks.
Concentration.
Oh,
checks.
no, this is not a concentration check.
It's a 19 on the die. Hang on. I don't have a negative constitution. So it's 20 total.
And what? Yeah, I'm assuming it's higher than your DC for saves.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, my DC for saves is 18.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So you make it.
If I dexterity save if I evade a disintegrate, I just don't take damage.
That was not the spell.
Oh.
3, 5, 10,
I think you just shattered yourself.
18, 21, 24, 28, and I stop there because you made your save. You take 28 damage, and you're blinded by a brilliant beam of light.
You have been sunbeamed.
You've been sunbeamed.
I can't cast Sunbeam.
No, you can't. But it wears off it wears off quickly, and you can see again.
Is the ooze dead?
The ooze is a fine pile of ash.
So just...
Thankfully, for plot reasons, the key is not. The key is actually like you were swimming in it, it's in your mouth.
Oh. I'm not touching that.
I hate this place.
You're not the only one.
It's kind of the idea. You weren't supposed to enjoy yourselves here.
I now have 11 hit points again.
I'm out of potions. I've had to use
Yeah,
one myself. There's a reason I held on to them.
That's fair. That's fair. I go over to the door. I unlock it.
Alright, the door opens, and you see a room with a pedestal on it.
What's on the pedestal?
On the pedestal is a glass case containing what looks to be a fractured mirror.
I walk up to the pedestal.
In the room itself, it's a circular room. On the far end of it is a mirror reflecting the whole room. Pardon me.
Porcelain lady contests me right now.
No. The room is fairly simple aside from the mirror at the end and the pedestal in the middle. There's a glass case surrounding it. And that's about it. A fractured mirror piece.
Can I get to it? Can I pick it up?
There's a glass case around it.
Can I touch the glass case?
You touch it.
Do I die?
No.
I lift the glass case if I can.
It does not lift.
It is attached.
You could shatter it.
I stab the glass case.
Dink!
Nope. I look at the mirror. Does the glass case exist in the mirror?
No.
I go to the mirror and I try to grab the mirror shard.
Dink. You hit a mirror.
Okay. I turn around and look at the glass case. I'm out of ideas. Next.
So the glass case is not present in the mirror's reflection?
That is correct.
Can you get behind the mirror? Like, is there space behind the mirror?
There's not space behind the mirror.
Is the mirror light enough to be lifted?
Yes.
I pick the mirror up.
Okay.
I bring it over towards the glass case, and I poke the glass case with the mirror.
All right. How careful are you being with this mirror?
Very careful. I'm just like, two hands just slide slowly towards the glass case.
But you're holding it in the upright position, or are you
Yeah,
like
and,
tipping it to
like
do that?
upright, like just like tilting an angle, like slowly, but
Are you trying to put it on top of the glass case?
Like, are you tilting it sideways?
No, I'm just like leaning it into the glass case to see if it impacts.
Dink.
Okay. I like tilt it upward on top of it.
All right. The mirror shard in the reflection
Falls out.
slides out, and so the mirror shard goes whizzing out as though the glass case wasn't there, and falls into the wall.
Okay.
I grab it.
All right. Roll me a charisma saving throw.
9.
Ah, that good old -1 charisma.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. You're magical in nature. You're probably the worst person to be holding this.
Yay!
3,480.
This is just called the Kill John round.
Sure.
It's bad for John,
But
but
come back as a lawful good paladin.
Oh, no. We don't need any more of those.
I'm gonna come back as a lawful good druid.
We don't need any lawful good here.
interesting.
We reject that kind of belief.
Yes, this place is very interesting.
All right. So you're holding this shard.
Okay.
And
Everyone here is magical in nature. I hate to break it to you, Austin.
yes,
He knows.
But-
Yes,
Some more than
he's the wizard.
I'm the most.
He is the one who uses the most structured magic. The rest of you use magic differently.
I use raw power and shape it how I want.
Yes. He obeys rules.
Mhm.
So this shard is a massively powerful magical artifact, which is very obvious to you.
Yes.
And it has a raw, chaotic nature that sickens you. Like, holding this makes you feel violently ill. You drop to the ground and start vomiting, and your mind is racing, and you feel all of everything awful you've ever felt.
Sweet. I'm on the ground vomiting.
Ew.
Yeah. He's not.
Oh, he's not?
He thinks he is.
Oh.
He's just staring at this mirror piece.
I'm just staring at the mirror piece.
I've seen this kind of thing before. From various people. I'm going to take the shard from him.
Alright, as you look in the shard, you glance, and you see in his reflection, he's on the ground vomiting.
Yeah, I'm going to take the shard from him.
Alright, you grab it. Make me a charisma saving throw.
That's what I'm much better at.
Does he cut my hand pulling it out?
No, it's surprisingly not sharp.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, 28.
Okay. You're going to resist that effect.
You're also lawful. Though.
8,363. Sweet. Everything that's a bag of holding within 60 yards of you doubles in capacity.
Okay, I'm standing next to his bag of holding.
So
and
both of your coats
And my actual bag of holding.
can hold more stuff now.
I've got a rope of holding and a bag of holding.
As you hold the mirror, you feel this chaotic presence enter your mind. You could take this as a patient if you felt like it. You are able to hold your mind enough well enough together to not let it forcibly enter.
No.
You try to put it in the bag of holding.
And the pocket of holding.
On second thought.
You roll me a wisdom saving throw.
I was about to say, that's not a good idea. First instinct, not so good. 21.
No, never mind.
Can I tell what this is now? I'm sort of looking at it.
You've had a moment.
And I've been connected to it.
So, roll me another charisma save. No, roll me a wisdom saving throw. No, roll me an intelligence saving throw, actually. This is intelligence.
That I'm great at. 26.
Okay, you avoid the horrible jawing feeling of having the mirror pulled out of your hand and suddenly realizing that everything that you knew was wrong and you weren't on the ground retching.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to rationalize this in your head very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, so what was the question?
Can I tell what this was now that I've been connected to it? Excellent. Okay, all that was wrong.
Roll history.
28.
So, according to High Elven legend, the world did not always have magic. There used to be a wishing well to which people would go to get their wishes granted. And it was guarded by a young woman, the Maiden of the Well. It's from this continent. The legend is, at least, you don't know how true it is. And it was said that to those who were worthy, she would dip out to grant them powers to achieve what they needed to achieve. Well, one day, people conspired to steal the power of this well. And they came upon it at night, and the woman was powerful, but she was thrown aside. However, as the men reached into the well, the surface shattered like a mirror, releasing its magics into the world to be used by all. However, the shard that was broken off was infused with all of the magic in the world simultaneously, but as a reflection of it.
So, okay.
So this mirror
Is magic.
is magic. Literally is magic. But is beyond anyone's capacity to control.
Okay.
At least as far as you know.
Is it something that could be utilized? Like, I am now thinking the mechanical utilization. Like, what would, like, you can't control it. What could you? It's created all of this.
Yes.
What could you do with it? Like, what could be done with it?
You're not sure. Using it is dangerous and chaotic. You suspect that that's why Davin shipwrecked this ship.
So, that should remain here.
It is a powerful artifact in and of itself. And roll me...
I imagine
both
this is
of
what
you roll me
she's
insight.
looking for. 13 plus 8 is 21.
16 plus 1 is 17.
You can deduce that this Stitch Woman knows it's here. And based on that corpse, she's somewhere in here. She's been waylaid longer than you have, though.
So a porcelain doll is searching. First of all, what you are holding in your hand there is the crystallized essence of magic. It is magic. As it ever was, as it ever will be. It is from the theorized.
It's sort of a wives' tale, but clearly it's not.
It is legendarily the source of all magic comes from an old wishing well, who, when attempted to be stolen, fragmented itself, releasing magic into the world and sealing a part of itself into a mirror shard. It is all that magic ever was or could be.
Tara, like, reaches for it, like she wants to try to look at it.
None of us
It's a
can
bad
use
idea.
it.
I just wanted to...
It's a very bad idea.
Actually, make me oppose dexterity saving throws to see if she's able to touch it.
17. You probably beat me.
I think I did. Yeah, 20.
You touch it. Roll me a charisma saving throw. That's Bard. I presume you can.
I mean, plus 10.
Um,
Oh, no, you're
25.
high the dex. Okay.
Oh yes. Oh yes. 7,877. All right. Okay. That's an effect.
And you die.
All right, how much do you weigh? We said about 130?
130, 141.
Awesome. Good to know. As you touch this shard, you feel power. Raw power course through you.
Oh no.
Does she let go of the shard?
Do I like the power? Does it?
That's up to you. But this is very powerful. And you feel the energy coursing through it, and it's useful.
She's gonna try to grab it from him.
She's holding it. Do you try to pull it away from her?
I just got done saying it is all the magic and can't be controlled.
Yeah, in this particular instance, I need to make a wisdom saving throw of my own here. 1 second. Nope, effectiveness being overridden. I'll let you have it.
Turns out we do have a chaotic member in the party.
You need to drop that.
Why?
Because it is all the power of magic in the universe. And
At this time,
by a mortal form.
where the mirror was, a door opens, and you see the porcelain woman walk through.
And she's here.
So you just Faust has already had like 3 different plans running in his head at this point. He just kind of stands next to Tarel and just kind of whispers into her ear, "Use it. Destroy her. It's more powerful than she could ever be." You can do this.
If you try to, not hearing what he's saying, just continuing my thought. If you try to use that much power, it will burn you alive from the inside out. You will die, and your child will be an orphan.
The woman begins walking towards you.
All right, I've given you the information.
I could use that. Please hand it over.
I'm sure you could.
Don't make me harm you.
Does the power give me anything? Do I have?
You just feel right.
Alright.
What do you do with this? It's pretty
Yeah.
sharp in your hands. Like it's got sharp edges on it.
Mm-hmm. I mean.
It's about dagger size too.
Jam it into her chest.
Just stab her with it.
You feel inclined to do so.
Alright. Stab her with it.
All right, stuff's about to happen.
Everyone does.
Interesting. You jam it into her, and her eyes open. And as her reflection appears in the mirror, your place takes over, and you walk into her body.
Ah!
You feel perfect. You're completely aware of everything around you. Your muscles are perfectly toned. Your reactions are immaculate. Your vision is perfect. Your hearing is perfect. You can hear the heartbeat of everyone in this room. You feel strong. And to the rest of you, she looks like this woman wearing her clothes. And if any of you look in the mirror, though, you see her reflecting in the mirror.
People making stupid decisions.
All right.
Yes. I feel perfect.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
Alright, she says it like that, but it comes out the way the woman talked, cold and motionless.
I won't lie, I think I prefer your normal face.
What is the
Where's
woman
the
doing?
woman?
She's gone.
What about to us?
Where's my body?
In the mirror reflection.
What about to us?
She's gone. She walks
So-
into her space and
As far as we can tell, Tarrell's dead and the porcelain woman is here.
no, because the porcelain woman is wearing Torel's clothes.
Okay.
They walk together
Okay.
and
Maybe we're pushing the one.
what do you do?
I don't know. This is very strange. You said the body feels. I just feel perfect.
You feel
and
incredible.
light.
Does it feel like this weird magic warping aura is still in the we're still there?
Not the
or-
same way it was.
Does it feel like we're on the material plane again?
No.
No. I just walked to the door we came through.
Just leaving.
I'm leaving.
All right, Galadriel's leaving.
I'm leaving these people to their bad decisions.
What are the rest of you doing?
Faust is standing in front of Tarrell.
I'm gonna see if I can
you
get
can
out.
retrieve your form.
I'm not sure. Do I feel like I can retrieve my old form?
Do you want to? You see it yourself in the shard. Do you reach for yourself?
Yes.
As you reach it, as you touch the shard, you feel yourself return to normal.
Okay.
So for mechanical and you see her return to normal. For mechanical purposes, once per day, you can shift into that form for 1 minute once per long rest.
Which form? The porcelain woman?
The
or
porcelain
the
woman's
okay.
form.
Okay.
And the porcelain woman's just gone?
Gone. As you look in the mirror, your reflection is replaced with hers when you look in it.
Well, that was strange.
You did very well.
So Faust, you're a warlock.
I am.
You've seen people form bonds with strange objects.
Yeah.
That's what just happened.
Yeah.
So Torel, you know how you have a slightly volatile nature?
Mm-hmm.
That's bubbling to the top right now. Especially since your child's not around. You just... Sort of like the mug make Duncan feel like he can do anything. This is more of a... You feel a desire to show all of your emotions and to do whatever you want to do. Not in a I want thing sort of way, just in a you see no reason to hold anything back anymore.
Alright.
Okay.
You alright?
It's rather refreshing, by the way.
Yes. It's strange.
Well, you discussed that deal.
I feel like I'm more in control than I was before.
Good.
Listen to what he just said.
That's what she thinks.
That's the exact
It is-
opposite. I know. I'm just saying that's the exact opposite.
Thinks. Should we get out of here?
We should.
Also, he's still wearing your slippers or your boots.
That's okay.
Congratulations, by the way. I don't know if anyone could handle that much power. And I was right.
She's not handling it, it's handling her.
You're not here.
I know
Not
I'm
here.
I know I'm not. Gallagher walked off. He's leaving. He's done. Done with this place. Done with this bullshit.
And she starts to walk towards the door and holds out her hand for his.
He takes it.
And DM is out.
What are you doing, Nathan?
Poor confused.
Are you
gnome.
staying there just watching this? Okay. He's standing, taking notes.
Fascinating.
The whole thing about it was just a myth and being real.
Yeah. All of magic in her hands.
It's not all of magic. It's a shard of all of magic.
Yes.
All right.
And it's
So, have you come to terms with yourself now?
Mhm.
Do you leave?
Yeah, she took his hand and they started to leave.
All right. What about you, Gnome?
I was watching their interaction.
No, you're just like
They're just taking notes.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting big people relationships.
all
All right. You control these rooms now. So you just want to walk through the door and get to your destination?
Yeah, just want to get out.
So, Galador, you walk into the room and they just walked in the same... they walked in the door right before you did.
Okay. I don't care. I'm done with this place.
And the gnome, you're just in the room now. You see the strange reflection. And the strange reflecting pool in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the desire to poke it with your new dagger.
Oh, poke.
It shatters. All the arcane runes around you begin to go off. And they do things.
Can I counterspell one of them?
You don't need to.
Okay.
The ship lights on fire. But it's a fire that doesn't burn.
Time to leave then.
I teleport. If they're nearby, they go with me. If not, I'm going back to Daventry.
Do you want to take them with you right now?
I don't care, really. The shard's going to eventually kill her, and she's already accepted that. I'm done with this place. If they're next to me, they'll come with me. If not, I'm going.
Are you standing next to him or not? Your choice.
Probably not. I'm not liking that much.
Alright, the two of you.
I'm not sticking around.
You're like, I'm going, and you're like, nope.
Like, you see me begin casting teleport.
And you're
Do
like,
what you may.
and you're like, yep. Great plan. Real quick, just gotta roll the chart. You're probably fine, though. At this point, you're...
to the teleportation circle. So.
Oh, well, yeah, you would have been fine anyway. Alright, so what are the two of you doing?
Shall we get out of here?
Indeed.
I offer my hand. And I dimension door to the shore.
Poof.
We'll probably head back to Daventry. I would assume.
Get on your horses, you lead the other horses back.
Yep.
You riding through the night?
I don't need to sleep. Do you?
Does she
You feel
like she-
invigorated right now.
Okay, yeah, we're riding through the night then.
I'm going to go talk to Melodius and Tanar.
Alright,
Really weird stuff happened.
it's the middle of the night. You
I
wake them
don't
up.
care.
Alright. You go up.
Tanar.
Which room? Whose room are you going up to?
Tanar never gets to sleep.
Tanar's
No.
first.
Tanar never gets to sleep.
You knock on the door.
Because he's the more serious of the two. Yes.
That poor man.
You hear a heavy sigh. So heavy it carries through a door.
Unaffected.
You hear a woman's voice. I'm going to stab them. I'm going to stab the servants. I'm going to kill them. I'm going to be... And Intanar's like, it's fine, Alice. Don't concern yourself. I'm sure it's important or they wouldn't keep waking me up.
Oh, poor Tanar.
A couple minutes later, the door opens, and there is a very annoyed-looking Tanar
I
standing
still
there.
have silver skin and flesh-colored hair.
He looks at you. And just unfazed. Yes.
We need to talk with you, Melodius. Well, I need to talk with you, Melodius.
I'll get him. Go sit in the meeting room.
Go to the meeting.
A few minutes later,
Can I figure out how to fix this, by the way?
you have no idea.
Alright, sweet.
You go into the room. A servant comes in bringing some snacks.
How do they react to my
Refreshments.
appearance?
They're looking weird at you. As they bring the goblet of water close to you, the water begins floating out of the goblet.
I don't have control magic up anymore.
No, you don't.
I just look at it.
It's just a ball of water just sort of floating.
I just stare at it.
It floats away from you. It suddenly turns back into water, just drops on the ground.
I just look from it at the servant.
Make your own answer.
Completely plain, like.
She turns pale white and she's done.
Yep.
Melodious and Tanar enter. What is it that's so important? Melodious looks down.
More erratic than mine.
Control what?
I can show you.
No.
Oh, this gets more fascinating by the moment. Tell us what happened.
I explain in excruciating detail what happened, right down to the fact that this shard is now putting its power through
Torel. It takes you a while to tell the whole story because you tell it in your way.
Yes.
Very dry, very matter of fact. Slightly annoyed right now.
Yes. We found out. Galadir has an emotion. It's annoyance.
Yep, and they pushed you. They pushed you just far enough.
Yep.
Melodious almost seems amused. Tanar does not.
Yeah.
Tanar shares your opinion.
Yes.
Except he's got much stronger emotions than you do.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is the Stitcher woman does not have it.
No.
She's gone.
Theoretically.
Does Torel seem to be able to control this?
I have no idea.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how much of it is Torel controlling it and it controlling Torel.
Do we have a choice at the moment?
Well, theoretically, yes, but I'd rather not kill her.
That actually seems... That would actually be the worst plan. If the shard has found a vessel to rest in, at the very least it's in a relatively controlled environment. You said that this shard created an entire world of itself when freed.
It did.
It's not doing that right now, so I think we need to leave things until things get worse.
Correct.
Excellent!
However, I look at myself.
Right.
Water floats around me.
Well, I don't even know cards anymore. I had written down. She got something.
Interesting.
Before all this happened.
I suppose a side effect of the mirror. Oh, I apologize. You tried to get on your horse?
No, wait, yeah.
Yes,
no,
they-
probably
You explicitly said they tried to ride the horses.
Right. So you're trying to get on your horse?
Yeah.
Going back in time.
Well, we just had a conversation, so probably after.
After the conversation?
Yeah.
As you try to pull up on the horse knees buckle and it whinnies and bolts out from you.
You weigh a literal ton.
Oh.
Not one.
Oh my.
You're also leaving real deep footprints.
That's strange.
Something you'll have to get used to. Or learn to control.
Riding things would be impossible.
Shall we fly then?
Do you need that?
I still have a little bit of magic left.
Alright.
It might take an hour of rest or two between periods of flight, but
Alright. You cast a spell.
I cast a fly.
Roll me a charisma saving throw.
26.
The shard begins to flare up as magic is cast on you, but you know it's good magic, and so you settle the shard. Every time somebody tries to cast a beneficial spell on you, you have to make a charisma saving throw to accept it.
Every time someone casts a hostile spell on you, I feel like there's a benefit.
Yes, you don't have... Well, you can make the charisma saving throw if you want to prevent the shard from doing things. Okay. You'll get back by morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Serious. Dorel has been possessed, controlled, whatever, by this shard. Good thing, bad thing, I don't really care, but definitely a thing.
Yes. Well, I don't know exactly how we're going to address this problem, but it's under control for the moment.
Also, it's a fairly large amount of power and a fairly volatile individual.
Power is also volatile, which is
It is.
the only reason it works.
It's true.
In your experience with Torel, how mentally stable is she?
Not very.
Perchance why the shard took such a liking to her.
Takes but a few seconds to get her to earn her wrath. Takes but a few seconds more before she decides that killing you would be the better option. It would be very few steps between where she is currently and a tyrant if the power were to open itself fully to her.
A tyrant has to desire to control, though. A butcher might be more accurate.
Fair enough.
No, I'm the tyrant between the two of us.
Glorious news. Glorious news.
Though Faust does have some modicum of influence with her, so a tyrant might not be far off.
My patience with Faust is already quite thin. This development. I'll have Elrin get here by the morning. We'll discuss it then. He is going to be thrilled.
I'm sure he is.
Oh my God.
The primary issue, though, is that without an ability to trust the sanity and/or restraints of these individuals, I have no intention of letting them travel the ley lines towards the Dark Elves. I don't want to know what happens when that artifact comes in contact with it.
I suspect nothing.
This happened the last time I tried to cast magic around it.
Yes, but you were in its realm. I'm unsure. It'll require further study. A study we don't have time for. I need sleep. Right now, there's no imminent danger, correct?
I assume they're on their way back to the
I
city.
need sleep.
They didn't come with me via teleport, so...
Well, then they'll be here in the morning, and we'll deal with it then.
That was your choice.
That was a perfect choice.
Gave us time to go.
Your rooms are still yours. Use them as you see fit.
Yep.
Tanar just leaves.
That's fine.
Melodious walks up. Could I
Certainly.
investigate? He grabs a goblet of water and begins fiddling with it. He spends about 10 minutes fiddling with things about you. Looking at your hair, watching the water float. Which one's more annoying?
I just blink at him.
Well, the water floating or the color?
They are each equally annoying in vastly different realms.
Pick one.
The skin and hair.
All right. You're rather injured looking, aren't you? Tanar just went to bed. I'll see you first thing in the morning.
I go to trance.
Okay. You wake up in the morning to somebody knocking on your door.
It opens.
Melodious walks in. Yes! Step over here.
I step over there.
He pulls out his axe. I apologize. He smashes you in the face with the butt of his axe.
Okay.
He needed you at full health so you would survive the hit.
You actually only take 6 damage. Blood begins trickling down your face as he smashes you with the ruby in the pommel.
Okay.
You look down at your hand. It's normal colored.
What did you do?
The axe has properties.
And the water?
I'm afraid I can only fix one.
At a time or ever?
Yeah, we're working on that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The servants will bring food and water. I put it in stoppered bottles for you. The servant walks in and there's the bottle with a cork on it that the bottle begins floating off the plate as it gets within 5 feet of you.
I take it. Shape water to drink it.
You want this figured out. Have fun.
Shape water cantrip. I have to cast a cantrip to drink.
Does it not just float inside you?
I mean, he could astronaut drink if he wanted to.
No.
Galladier doesn't do that. Around this time, you come within sight of the city. Right as everyone's
Take
waking
a
up.
short rest to heal myself.
Is she feeling tired or still invigorated?
The vigor is starting to wear off. You're starting to feel tired.
You require a rest?
I might need a little rest.
Well, the mana still exists for 6 more hours.
More than that, you cast it 8 hours ago.
No.
You recast it before we left.
Yes,
we've been
at
gone for a
noon.
while. Yeah.
The sun is just rising.
So I got 6 hours
You
left.
got 6 hours left.
That should be fine. I just need a little rest.
I'd lead her back to the mansion.
Alright. Your son is very excited to see you, and he jumps up and hugs you.
He doesn't notice anything wrong.
You're tired, but...
Okay.
I mean, your form is your normal one right now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Where have you put the shard?
Right now, she has like a little side pouch on her pocket or on her jacket. She's got it in there right now.
Alright. As you go to put it away, it absorbs into your hand.
You are a Pact of the Blade Warlock now.
You can call it back to your hand if you want to.
Interesting.
Over the course of... Sorry,
Yeah.
Finish that first. Over the course of the night, after I finish my trancing for the 4 hours, I am now bound and determined to figure out how to use this staff. Because I thought that shard would just burn whoever used it, and it didn't. I want to know if there's a way for me to use this staff.
Sure.
Play with people.
Alright. Roll me Arcana Investigation, and I will come back to you in a little bit. While you guys, because I'm presuming you're gonna spend most of the day doing this, because you've got a free day.
Yeah.
And it'll take you the whole day to work it out. 20?
19 on the Arcana, a 20 on the Investigation.
Perfect. Alright, we'll come back to you. You get back and you go to rest.
Yeah, she rests for a few
Okay.
hours.
Children happy to see you. Gora's, glad to see you come back. As usual, she doesn't ask too many questions.
Oh, also,
Well,
she out the one.
She also knows that when Faust goes out, people that are threats to either of them typically don't come back, so...
Yes.
But he spends her period of rest just kind of reading over his Book of Shadows in her room, just kind of sitting down in a chair, just reading.
Okay. And what are you doing, Faust?
That's what I meant.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so you're reading.
Yeah, I'm also figuring out what that wand does as well. I'm just saying.
If he can get in a long rest, he will take a new tarot reading if possible.
Alright. It is a wand of secret chest.
Ooh!
You can point it,
That's
it creates a secret chest, and you tap it, and it vanishes again.
That is very useful. When you have dangerous artifacts, you need to hide.
Yes.
Actually, it'd be very good for hiding staff.
Yeah, it would be.
And unlike your robes,
It can't be fished out of.
yeah. Also, the wand, you find that if it's a little bit pliable, and you can wrap it around your wrist,
Okay.
and it just melds in, and it looks like just a leather band.
Alright. Does it require attunement?
Yes,
Okay. So I will.
it does require attunement.
Depending on what I learn from this staff, I will determine. Have her boots of spider clay?
I'm not I'm gonna say that you're identifying it attuned you to it.
Okay.
The chest will only open for you.
Okay. Well, just out of curiosity, just for universality, if her boots of spider clay don't require attunement,
Yours
mine-
don't either.
Okay. So then
I'm assuming that you put them on, they stick to walls.
sounds good. I will then unattune that because it was attuned, and I will have this wand attuned to me then. And I'm going to see about this staff.
Yes.
Because I'm about done with these artifacts that aren't letting people use them. Like random artifacts, letting random people use them. Well, god damn it. I will bend you to my will.
All right, Mr. Gnome, what you doing today?
Probably gonna look up more about that legend about the whole thing.
The well?
The well?
The well, yeah.
All right.
See where it originated.
You can ask me.
Yeah, I can ask. I'll ask you.
I'll explain to the best of my ability while puzzling over a stack.
Yes. Roll me. There's not really a research.
Investigation often.
I guess investigation. Yeah, roll me investigation.
It specifically said in the PHP that investigation is often for like poring over records and.
But roll with advantage because this is kind of your thing. You also have access to Melodius's library because you read Gnomish, and he has a library of Gnomish books.
19. That's the 34.
Zachary's in chat.
Oh. What do you say?
He said, "Did you do all the horrible things that he is never going to learn about?"
Did he only just come in chat?
I'm guessing.
Technically, nothing that we. I mean,
So we can see what happened with my character.
technically,
They did not do any horrible things.
we didn't do any horrible things. We did stupid things. Not horrible.
34. Should I check if I get a 35?
Yeah, roll see if you get it.
Yeah, roll to see if you get a natch.
Yes! Yes! You rolled a 19 and a natural 20. I rolled a 19 and a natural 20. This side of the table, feeling good.
Okay, can I stop rolling 5s then?
Alright, so you
Rolls tonight.
do a decent bit of research, and you're able to find out some stuff when Elrin walks up. Hey, got here just in time, I hear. So, you were asking about a well?
Yes, a mythical well of granting wishes.
Look, I didn't say anything, but I know where the well is. And if my brother finds out that shard exists, he'll kill everyone, so don't!
Good to know.
I'll take you down first.
You have for legitimately, Taro has proven to be unstable over the past not long while.
When at the very beginning of this campaign, she was neutral good.
Like
Years ago.
Like ever since Galadriel has known her, she's just been on a very steady downward spiral.
Yep, and it just.
And like you just grabbed an instrument of unknowable power and then using it and are using it. You are a threat to everything right now.
You basically know everything about this well. It's a well that the druids gained all their power from. It's the source of all magic, the source of druidic power. You feel like the well still has the ability to sustain gifts, but it can't give them anymore since it's shattered. It is, however, still very powerful, potent, and dangerous. And you suspect if that mirror fragment was ever reintroduced to the well could regain almost unlimited power.
Unlimited.
Which means the druids would have no reason to stay in their forest.
Which means the druids would throw Taro in the well.
They would throw all of civilization in the well.
What you've discovered is, you know what? No one needs to know this. No one needs to know anything.
No way.
No what?
These silly humans learn things, and they do bad things with what they learn. Alright, so you guys are resting. You're studying this staff.
Yep.
And you are bound and determined to use it.
I am.
And you rolled some darn good checks.
That will be a 29 and a 30.
Roll me a charisma saving throw to enforce your will upon this staff.
2 more members of this party become warlocks.
Natural 20, which makes it technically a 19.
Yes, but still a natural 20. Alright. So you're fiddling with this staff.
To be fair, bards are already charisma casters. You can take warlock levels.
You know that this thing is connected to another plane of existence in a way that you don't understand. But you've kind of given up on understanding things.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I just want to use this.
How do I use you?
So you find yourself oddly attuned to this stick.
Okay. As I cramp in my foot. Aha.
That's what he did with his. It's the ever burning foot cramp.
Yeah.
So
You are now attuned.
you hold out the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Think of an object. Any object in the world.
I think of the ruby.
Which ruby?
The jewel that we're hunting.
Oh, the Tarask's gem?
Yeah.
You see through a pinprick into a room. You see that room you saw before with the gem on a pedestal. You see the woman kneeling before it, holding her hands over it, staring at it.
What all do I see in the room?
As you move it around, it looks like it's so it's a walkway into a central platform that's surrounded by lava, and there's a door at the end that leads out.
All right. Sort of turn and look at the woman.
She's the dark elf woman you saw earlier. She's blindfolded, and she's got a skull in one hand and a long whip in the other.
Does she seem to notice me at all?
No.
What is she doing? Like praying to the gym, or just sitting?
Sort of like she's leaning over. She's got she's got the skull floating over, like moving over the gem, and she's chanting something under her breath.
I get as close as I can.
You do not speak Dark Elven.
No.
So you can't comprehend what she's saying.
Do I feel like I can do other things while I'm focusing on this?
Yes, but you would risk being noticed. You feel like you could theoretically cast something through this gap, but it would have a noticeable effect.
No. Not through the gap, on me. Could I ritual cast comprehend languages while watching her?
It depends on how alert she is. She may be able to see that there's a spell being cast close to her.
Okay, so I let go of the focus.
Okay.
Does it go away?
Yes.
I ritual cast comprehend languages on myself.
Okay.
And then do that again. See if I can.
Does comprehend languages require you to be touching the person in this edition?
No.
It requires you to be touching any writing that you're translating.
Yeah, if
It used to be you had to be touching the person you were casting in 3.5.
So I'll pull it up right here.
Comprehend language. You understand literally meaning any spoken language that you hear. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface unless you know it's written.
So what she's chanting is in Dark Elvish, but it seems to defy translation.
Okay, so it's some sort of ritualistic chant. It's not like I'm talking to the thing.
It's both. From what you can roll me insight.
The literal translation doesn't make any sense, basically.
18 plus 8, 26.
She's spouting out a series of words that are meaningless to the way that you're translating them. It's kind of like he said, the literal translation doesn't make sense, but you suspect that it's part chant, but part she's talking to the gem, and she's kind of interweaving the two in such a way that you're picking out random words that don't have context.
Okay. So losing focus on that. I focus on the town of Shapir.
Okay. You see an ashen waste.
I go over to where there's something, like any amount of thing that might have survived, stone or anything.
Yeah.
Can I pull it through to me?
Do you have Mage Hand?
Yes.
You cast Mage Hand, you pull it up, and with a little bit of effort, you pull a small pebble through the pinprick.
Do I think I'd be able to do that with that ruby?
Too big.
Too big? Alright. So nothing big, but...
Anything that will fit through this pinprick.
Okay. I put it down. Can I change the look of the staff? Like, just as a transmutation?
Yeah, as a transmutation wizard.
I just want to make it look like my other staff.
Sort of. There are elements of the staff that you can't change.
Yeah.
But you could certainly make it so it doesn't look like it did.
Okay.
The only major things that you have to leave is there's an encasing at the top that you know that stone, and it's about the size of this tea kettle.
Yeah. That the stone
is designed to fit in, and you can't seem to change that part of it.
Okay. I just changed the color. Make it look like it was made out of white oak or something.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I could do with this that I can think of? Just playing with it.
So it doesn't do what most teleportation things do, where it takes you from one space to another. It literally puts two spaces in time
right next to each other,
adjacent. So you could cast any of your spells through this.
Okay.
Theoretically.
Just out of curiosity, I think of the inside of his mansion.
Roll me a spellcasting check. What's your spellcasting modifier?
Charisma. +5.
25.
You see into his mansion.
Fascinating.
This staff was designed to pierce planes of existence.
Yeah.
Extra dimensional things. Not a problem for it.
I use the staff to look around and see if anybody's inside right now.
Yeah. Gora and Kai are playing one of the rooms. Pardon me. Torel is sleeping, and Faust is poring over his book of secrets.
I see if I can read over his shoulder. I've still got comprehend languages up.
You have to be touching the surface to read Dwarven.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to be touching the surface.
Alright.
I mean, you could stick your finger through to touch it. But Faust might notice.
Does Faust seem aware of the pinprick?
No.
Okay.
As long as nothing is going on with the pinprick, it seems to be invisible.
Okay. Stop focusing there. I put the staff away. Does putting it away break my attunement to it or not?
No.
Okay. I put it away.
And it doesn't seem to be a traditional sort of attunement. It's more just a manhandling of what the staff is meant to do.
So I have basically unlocked parts of its potential.
Yes. You might be able to unlock more, but as it is, at minimum, you feel like you could cast any spell at seemingly any range. There might be limitations, but you're not sure on them yet.
But like I can effectively use, like, if this were a familiar, I could use the pinprick as if it were a familiar if I was casting through the familiar. Exactly. Okay. And at apparently indefinite range, so long as I can imagine where I'm trying to go.
Yes. So like, and it would also work like if you were dimension dooring through this pinprick.
Could I?
Because it puts the spaces adjacent.
Yeah.
So even if they're a mile apart,
could I?
If there's a 50-foot, it can be 50 feet apart with.
Could I Misty Step the pinprick?
Potentially.
Could I teleport? Like using that as a location that I can see, could I teleport to it?
Much more safely, yes.
Oh, I have a much worse idea for how to get that ruby now.
Just you step in, teleport out, bye.
See ya.
You do feel like any wards that are on a location would still affect it. So if a place is warded against teleportation, it doesn't matter if there's a pinprick in there.
Okay.
If you can't teleport to or from a place while you're there, The pinprick's not helping.
Okay, but I can over the course. So in that case, since we have a day free, I'm going to use the staff to map out the facility as best I can.
Okay.
Cartographer's map.
You were able to create a map. I'll give it to you next week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you find a limitation.
Okay. I can't open doors.
Can't open doors.
But can I imagine myself
you
on the
can't
other
imagine
side?
yourself on the other side if you have no context.
Okay.
So you can walk freely until you hit a barrier.
Alright.
Unless you know something on the other side.
Unless you know something about the other side of that door.
If the area is free, can I mage hand to open the door? Like if there's nobody around to see the mage hand.
Yes, you could cast a mage hand to try to open the door, assuming that there's no one on the other side to, of course, notice it. But
I mean, even if they did let go of it and they can't see the pinprick anymore.
yeah.
So, like, they're gonna know a ghost is haunting their place.
Okay. I mean, mage hand is visible.
Yeah. But like a poltergeist is
Unless you're an
opening
arcane
doors.
trickster.
Actually, I would, if I could get a hold of him, I would grab Caitlin in and see if he could see it.
Caslin, roll me an Arcana check.
Like if I focus and open up a pinprick.
I don't know whether you use it, Caslin or Caitlin.
Okay.
Casting.
Okay, yes, I lied. So yeah, I would see if he could see the pinprick, or if it's just me.
Right now, the pinprick is appearing where that ruby should go.
Yeah.
15.
With him describing and leading you through the steps, you can see a pinprick through. It's like looking at a world through a keyhole. It's awkward, but if he holds it up to your face, you can see through it.
All right. Would you like to assist me in mapping out an enemy base?
Is it safe?
Theoretically.
Theoretically means no.
All I need you to do is help me open doors.
All right.
So with his invisible mage hand.
Yeah. You are able to do a decent amount of scouting. Caslin, roll me a stealth check.
Just to open doors and not let people notice, hey, that door just opened.
And you roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. It's 20 and 13, so 21. Because my perception is 8.
Okay.
23.
All right, you're able to get the entire bottom half of the facility before you notice something catch on, and you shut off the connection.
Okay. Well.
And you were able to catch it before it caught you. You saw someone rounding a corner as a door was opening.
Okay.
You winked it out.
Well, looking at the map that we've made, this will be quite useful for extracting that gem. Thank you.
And you do your tarot reading?
Yeah, if I'm getting a long rest in here.
Alright.
I can use powerful magical artifacts too.
We all can. That's the benefit here.
Ooh.
We all have a vestige.
I feel like mine's a little bit worse.
Honestly, that one's pretty baller.
Well, no. Not worse mechanically, but worse impactfully.
Yeah, worse in.
Because if I get that gem, like just connect it with that gem, and then like, oh, I can do this.
You go to a sun.
You have to.
All right.
What the update looks like to use that, or
I just haven't had an idea of it.
Hold on 1 second. I apologize. I have to pull up what one of these cards look like.
exactly?
Because
I just wish to see it.
Could I see the wishing well using this?
no. There's something strange about it. Something within its nature defies attempts to scry it.
This is where I can see it. Either it doesn't currently exist, or it prevents anybody from looking at it.
Non-detection. As it turns out, even artifacts can't get past non-detection.
So you look into the card of the day, and it is a young woman wearing a blue cloak, a staff in one hand and a lantern in the other, looking down on top of a desolate mountain. Her form is unfamiliar to you, but you feel power flow through it. Isolation, determination, wisdom. You get back your ghostly gaze feature.
Hey! One of my invocations back.
And for the day, you have advantage on all perception checks.
Ooh. Interesting. Perfect. Well, the time is starting to run out of the spell. I wake Torel.
Does she feel any different?
You woken up a little early, but you
But
feel
she still feels
good.
How? Okay. Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
We're starting to run out of time on the spell, and I figured you'd rather be awake before the mansion kicks us all out.
Yes, that would be nice. Thank you.
All right, everyone. And I say, gathering the kids. Time to step outside.
Right. You all walk out, and
Shall we make a grand entrance?
What do you have in mind?
I imagine they're already expecting us. Why bother waiting for anything with the meeting room?
All right.
So we walk to the tower, and then I just dimension door straight to the meeting room.
all right. What time of day is it? You got there morning.
Right,
Right.
It's right at noon.
Yes.
It's noon because that's when your spell expired.
Yep.
All right.
Is anyone in the meeting room?
As it would happen, Garjan is there.
Grand entrance.
Hey, Guardian.
No one's in.
Honestly, I think that's better.
Garjan looks at you. Power.
Yes.
Unique. Much caution.
Caution is always advised when dealing with such intense power.
It holds hand out. Just feel, not take.
Okay. Darrell feels.
As you touch, you feel the magic. The shard has an odd connection with Garjin. Garjin begins glowing. Operation complete. Good morning, Torel.
Does she feel any different? Did he take any?
No, but he seems odd. Like, the whirring and the clicking seems to have become more rhythmic, and his movements are no longer erratic.
Good morning, Guardian.
He got fixed.
Seems you truly are not broken now.
This unit never broken. Just lost.
Welcome back.
That artifact is powerful.
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to have to teach her how to handle it.
You are not alone. He reaches in through a compartment in his chest and pulls out an identical looking mirror fragment.
You never will be.
He returns it to his chest. Partially reunited. You notice that yours looks like a mirror. His glows bright blue. It almost looks like a sapphire. Still missing one piece.
Just another shard.
Yes.
I wonder where that one would be.
We'll have to find it.
Indeed.
And I think that's where we're going to end it for the night.
All right.
We'll all rejoin and we'll figure out what the local paladin thinks of all the goings on here.
He tries to kill me.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye. Good.
Hello, and welcome to